Where's link the YouTube thing. Play dirty. Play dirty. No, Doctor Umar. We're Doctor Umar intolerant. Gives me gas. Play dirty. Play dirty. All right, hold on, hold on. Okay, yep, I can hear me. I can hear me there. Yeah, I can hear myself. I immediately turned it off when I heard. I was like, yuck. No, it doesn't. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, your mic is not on. Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I gotta hold on.
Uh, okay. That should. Well, I thought I sound checked it. I just don't want to hear the sound of my own voice. Okay. Ah, yeah, that'll do. That will do. Okay. I think that's all sussed out. Then it's how do I get the chat onto the thingy? I swear this used tools. Mm, mm, oh, okay. How do I get the chat? Is the question. Excuse me. Mm, right, maybe I just have to watch it from my phone. Oops. Oh, shit. when was the last time I even streamed? I can't even tell you the last time I streamed. Let's see. If there is someone watching, ping me. Come to. It won't let. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, I think it's because you're not admin. Oh, hold on. Okay. All right. It is live. We are live. I don't know if anyone is watching. I don't know because I've not been on my channel in I don't know how long, but we'll see.
You you said this is YouTube, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's YouTube.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, you know what? I had to close out YouTube because I heard my voice like 5 seconds later after I said that.
Oh yeah, no, no, don't listen to yourself. It'll make you want to throw up. I hate the sound of my own voice. I
All
fucking
right.
hate the sound of my own voice.
So how we go? Oh,
Mama Fuego.
all right. You are you trying to like demonetize us like instantly?
I mean,
Oh,
to be fair, the type of stuff that we're probably gonna be covering, and
Oh,
definitely
it's
yeah.
gotta be
not.
demonetized anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be like, either very nice and liberal and fluffy and soft and oh, I love the world, or you have to be like, a neo-Nazi damn near, in order to be
I'm neither,
monetized.
so
Yeah, exactly, exactly, and that's what you get on YouTube. You're either, oh guys, look at me do my makeup palette, or it's the oh he edge lord. I'm gonna say the N word 50,000 times because I'm a white guy. Haha, monetize me, and then it's gonna be oh don't cancel me. I'm sorry. Those are the people.
crazy.
Those are the people that get the monetization. You know?
Remember back in the day?
And the rich houses.
Remember,
Yeah.
remember back in the day, that guy almost went to like jail because he taught his dog to do a Hitler salute. He was like a big YouTuber,
Yeah, I
some
vaguely
white guy.
remember that.
Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I vaguely remember that.
That was crazy.
Yeah, well,
And something. They were literally defending him, talking about freedom of speech.
Do you know who I came across? I watched like a mini doc on. You see, this has nothing to do with what the actual topic is at hand, but seeing as we're sidetracking, you remember
Mhm.
a few years? Well, yeah, it's a few years ago now. That woman that went to the YouTube headquarters and shot it up, and she killed herself. Do you remember?
Whoa.
What? No,
How did you not know?
no. What the hell? What the hell?
Okay, it's not
What the
funny.
hell, Leonte?
Okay. It's not funny. It's not. I know that.
You literally just laughed.
Hmm.
Hold on. I'm laughing that Mystic didn't know. So basically, this woman, right? So her family, I think, originally are from Iran, moved to Azerbaijan, and then to the US because her dad had a job in the US. But she like never really fit in and was very weird, and she was like she loved animals, and she was like basically she's like the ISIS of vegans. Like she was so extreme with her veganism.
Wow.
And you have to look. I swear, this was like a huge worldwide story. But basically, she would put out very strange content that you just be watching it and thinking like, is this a psyop? Is this like there's something not right with the content that she was putting out? But basically, you know when they just I think it was when what's that? See, I have to be careful what I say now. What is that? That white man, the one that went to the suicide forest in Japan, and he put it on YouTube.
Oh, I know
Oh
who you're
wow.
talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
When that
that
happened,
was really incredibly disrespectful. Yeah.
when that happened, they like cut the monetization program. I think temporarily, like no one was getting paid. And she took that personal, like they're stopping my message about veganism, and the government is after me. And she went nuts. Her family like were concerned. They knew that something was wrong with her, and they did call the police because she had gone missing. Because she was halfway to the YouTube headquarters, and then she got there and she shot up the place, and then she killed herself. How did you not know about this?
Um,
I I have to look this up. This is so wild. I didn't even know that happened.
It happened, and
this
I
sounds
didn't even
fake.
know that happened.
everyone was blaming. I don't know if she's still the CEO or whatever of YouTube. Susan Wojcicki, Nitsky, Witsky, whatever. Susan Jetsky, Winetsky, whatever her name is, and they were blaming her. But yeah, that happened. I can't believe you don't remember that, or like you never
Bro,
heard of
I
it.
can't believe I don't remember that. I probably just I think around that
Let me
time
get the
too, it was
picture.
just like
Let me get the picture. Hold on.
Maybe I just canceled it out. I don't know.
my brain was just like, nah,
I mean,
cut that out.
if you saw her face and you saw her content, you would. And then I think people were like, yeah, you know me how I am, but even they were trying to blame like trans people for this. And I was just like, come on now.
What?
check check. Actually, let me put it in the VC chat because I'll put this in the general chat. People are gonna be like, what the hell? Check VC chat. That's her. But they're saying that's a man, and that it's really and the feminists were saying that women can't commit violence. Yes, they can.
That's the
Oh
smell.
Lord. Okay.
But she was like an extreme ISIS. She was like the Bin Laden of veganism. I wonder if that would get
Huh?
like my video taken
We're
down.
online. Support. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Mira's vegan too. Ooh,
Yeah, she is.
ooh.
She's not all jihad about it though. Oh shit. I forgot that this is live.
it's okay.
Yeah, because I said that you're not. I said that word.
We don't even do we have a sound on the soundboard for that? Or actually,
We
I think no, I don't think we do. Ooh, there's one I want to press, but I'm gonna press it.
فالقول قول الصوارم كي تسترد المظالم.
That's exactly it. I'm
Yeah.
done.
No, what I
That's
was
all it
saying.
took. That's all it took.
But that's all it took. That's all it took. Might as well put the nail in the coffin from early. Quit while you're ahead.
Oh, you're lucky I was muting. I was telling you stop sending me them fucking Instagram reels with that sound in the back. It's always a spinning rat with like colors and all this other shit and explode. You keep sending me reels, and it's like mad animations and pictures, and it's like
Oh wow.
and it's like I feel like you're trying to cyber attack me. I feel like you keep sending me shit
I know, yeah,
that's meant to attack me.
yeah. I sent you the one with the polar bears, and it's like he's like
And I
responding.
hate it. Stop sending. I feel like I shouldn't be seeing that. I feel like this is shit I shouldn't be seeing, and you keep sending it to me.
Have you seen the oh, you sent me the cupcake one as well, the Huawei
The
ringtone.
what?
The hold on, you see now I'm gonna
Oh
do
wait,
it.
I saw that one.
Watch. Let me put this on YouTube.
Her face looks familiar. She looks crazy.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that shot up YouTube. But if you watch her content, like it's very disturbing, very strange. I don't think most of it is in English, but she just looks. She looks like something is severely wrong with her. Like if Special was a face, her.
Oh
Like
wow.
she looks like a suspect. Like she doesn't look. She don't look
Wow, this was
healthy.
back in 2018. Yo, where the fuck was I at in 2018?
Living your life like Patrick under a rock. Clearly.
Probably. There was a hard time for me in 2018.
Yeah.
I barely paid attention with that shit with the suicide. Well, really, we're already demonetized. We might as well say it like
Yeah,
Logan
just say it
Paul.
now. Just say it now. Suicide.
Wow, wow, wow. Hold on a moment.
All right then. That's
Look, you know, is what it is. My channel was never monetized anyway. Shout out to my 118 subscribers. Yes, unbought, earned every
I
single
wonder
one of them.
where they're all from.
Um, well, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, some of them we know from like inside the server. Well, some of the people I met on YouTube, and then I got into Discord because it was through YouTube that I found Discord because I had no idea what it was. I had
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
no idea what it was. Someone's like, "Oh, do you want to join my Discord?" I was like, "Oh, okay." And here we are. Here we are. You know, let's get into the
Here we
topic
are.
because this thing is the I titled it Reddit Foolishness, and we're talking about YouTube ISIS and vegan militant nonsense. Hold on, let me get this damn screenshot because these people in Ask the Caribbean Reddit are ridiculous. Excuse me.
Yeah, let's read that as a start.
All right, let's start with the tirade. Let's read this garbage. Okay, so I'm just gonna say off the top, the first time they mention the word Caribbean, they don't even capitalize it. So I just want to say that. Right. Let's read this detailed. I'm gonna read it. I'm just gonna read it all through first and hold back from reacting, and then I'll react. I'll try.
Right?
Okay. Although most places in the Caribbean don't have a black majority, the Caribbean is for some reason seen as a black region. Most mainland Caribbean countries, Suriname, Guyana, Venezuela, Panama, Belize, etc., have a non black majority or at least an equal amount of, well, they put on, I think they meant of, non black people to black people. Also, countries like Jamaica and Trinidad have a significant amount of non black people on them. And then you have the Hispanic islands, they didn't capitalize that, where the majority of them are mixed or not black. After taking all this into account, why do people assume Caribbean equals space black? Question mark. Okay, next paragraph. This is also a problem in the UK. Okay, so this. Okay, that's no. I'm not gonna react. This is also a problem in the UK because Caribbean, in quotations, capitalized, is synonymous to black culture, which it should be synonymous with, but okay. So non-black Caribbean people will get denied their culture and identity for not being black. But people from effing Africa are allowed to have a sense of entitlement to our words, events, music, etc. The inverse happens to Afro Latinos, where they're not seen as Latin American for being black. I know black Brazilians and black Colombians who get denied their heritage every day. But in school, kids from Spain and Portugal would call themselves Latino, and everyone would just go along with it. What makes even less sense is that every island has a mix of African, European, and Taino influence. Some have Indian, Chinese, both not capitalized, Lebanese, and Syrian, etc. Meaning that if the country doesn't have a fully black population and the culture has significant non-African influence, then you can't say, I'm reading it as it's written, then you can't say that the country is a black country or possesses a black culture. I feel like people push American logic on the Caribbean too much. It's not the same as African Americans, where all their culture is from them directly, and everyone. Okay, next screenshot. Hold on, let me zoom in. Right. Let me start again. So it's not the same as African Americans, where all their culture is from them directly, and everyone who's African American is obviously black. A white American is ethnically different from a black American due to them having different culture and history, whereas a Chinese Jamaican isn't any less entitled to Jamaican culture than a black one. Furthermore, oh god. Furthermore, culture is shared with the races over here. So a black Jamaican with dreads and a bowl of curry goat in his hand wouldn't be called out for cultural appropriation, despite those things coming from Jamaicans of Indian descent. The same way a black Jamaican don't care that Sean Paul, a white and Chinese Jamaican, wears his hair in braids sometimes. I understand that people can be naive about other parts of the world, but I feel like basic level of information should be taught in school about different cultures and their history. Okay, well, this is hard read. And their histories, but they've spelt it not the plural way. Sorry if I was ranting. I just needed to get this off my chest. And there's been no upvotes. no, there's no upvotes. 46 comments, and someone said, "I feel like we have this conversation way too often now. It's getting kind of tiring. No shade to you, OP." And then someone responded, "It's OP making the same thread again and again." And this is exactly why I really don't like this subreddit, because they have nothing actually substantial to talk about ever.
Right.
Like, it's always the same dumb shit. Right. So now we're gonna go paragraph by paragraph. I'm gonna read it, and then we discuss paragraph by paragraph, because this.
All right.
I think my brain crashed out halfway because I was like, this is just so dumb. This doesn't make sense. So let's go paragraph 1. Although most places in the Caribbean don't have a black majority, the Caribbean is for some reason seen as a black region. Most mainland Caribbean countries, Suriname, Guyana, Venezuela, Panama, Belize, etc., have a non-black majority, or at least an equal amount on non-black people to black people. Also, countries like Jamaica and Trinidad have a significant amount of non-black people on them. And then you have the Hispanic islands, where the majority of them are mixed or not black. After taking this all into account, why do people assume Caribbean equals space black question mark? All right, who wants to go first? Is Mystic still here?
Yeah, she's still here. Honestly, though, you've been waiting for this, so I need to hear this from you first.
I just want to say, first of all, what kind of when this person woke up this morning or whenever they posted this,
Oh no.
like, what is going on in your brain? And when they say, like it said in the second paragraph, this is also a problem in the UK. If you're over here in the UK, I mean,
What I miss?
oh, you didn't hear me read this whole BS.
Wow.
No.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Wow.
Because we're gonna read through it bit by bit.
All right, yeah, dissecting it basically.
Yeah, we're gonna dissect it. You know, I'm gonna read the
Dissect me.
I'm gonna read the first paragraph. It's actually paining me to read this BS, but okay, I'm gonna speed run it.
Wait, what is this?
Oh, let me I'm gonna ping you to the thing. Hold on, miss.
Okay, watch this.
So,
Watch it blow my asshole apart. Let me see this.
Oh wow.
remember, we are on
Stop
air.
talking like that.
Wow.
It's too late.
You know she's gonna record this, right?
I mean, it's
That's fine.
It's on YouTube for the world to hear. Crazy.
Jeez.
All right, I'm already reading a little bit of it.
Right.
All right, this was a Facebook post.
No, it's Reddit. It's Reddit.
No, Reddit. Oh, excuse me.
So it's even worse.
Damn. All right.
Okay, so we're going first paragraph, right? I just read the first paragraph. Yeah, whoever wrote this, just what is going on in your head? Because what they've tried to
That's what I want to know.
Right, what they've essentially tried to do is I don't know what kind of racial dynamics they're trying to apply. But okay, let me just go with paragraph number 1. Last time I checked, Venezuela isn't really considered a Caribbean country. Neither is Panama,
Basically.
right? Suriname and Guyana, politically, yes, sure. But neither of them touch the Caribbean Sea, if I'm not mistaken. The reason why is because, British colonialism, well, for Guyana, British colonialism is basically the reason why we consider them part of the Caribbean and so on, and political ties and whatnot, right? And this is the thing.
Right.
How are they even trying to, what context are you putting this in? Are you just putting it in simply geographic context? Because most people that think of the Caribbean, just, the average person, they've probably even never heard of Suriname. Maybe they've heard of Guyana. They don't think of Venezuela as the Caribbean. They don't think Panama. Well, I don't even. Do they even know where Panama is? They probably have no idea where Panama is. And Belize, they're like, who? They're probably thinking Benin before they think of Belize. Like, okay, what? So my first thing is, what is the context, right? But then when they try to do the countries like Jamaica and Trinidad have a significant amount of non-black people. Okay, Trinidad is like pretty much half and half. Fine. But then Jamaica is still majority African descent. Like, if you're talking about the little 500 Chinese people in Jamaica, okay, see, because if I say that now, they're gonna be like, no, there's more than Chinese. Okay, hold on. Let me hold on.
You can't win.
Yeah, I know I can't win, but I think the point still stands. But hold on, let me do Jamaica demographics 2024. Let's see if they have anything. I want to say stuff, but then people gonna be you're ignorant. But I just feel like my point still stands.
My gas.
I don't know if the Jamaican government, do they even take census on ethnicity?
Oh,
Let me see.
it's a good question.
Okay, right. Let's see. There's a source on Wikipedia, so I'm gonna go to the source. I'm not using Wikipedia. I'm at the source.
The source.
At the source.
The source.
Right.
The source.
Is University of the West Indies. Right. Estimated population of Jamaica is 2.8 million. Okay. Right. Ethnic makeup 76.3% African descent. That's quite a lot, if you ask me. It's more than 3/4. With a 1.2% Chinese and a 3.2% Caucasian and a 3.4% Coolie. That's your people, Mystic. That's 3.4%.
Wow. Wow.
I knew she was gonna say that.
Nobody had to know that.
But wait, we have a 0.8 other, whatever the hell that is. And then you have the 15.1% Afro-European. I'm very curious how you even measure that. Or is it just all the people coming from the UK because they're all mixed and they're going back? Who knows? But that's the whole point, right? So that Afro-Jamaicans make up more than 75% of the country. Now, if I click on Trinidad, okay, according to the University of the West Indies, that's the source, okay?
The source.
East Indian. As of 2024, population of Trinidad is 1.5 million people. Ethnic makeup 40.3% East Indian, 39.5% African, 18% mix of both, and 1.2% of Chinese and other, with 0.5% of European. So I'm like failing to understand, like, what is their point that they're trying to make here? Because Jamaica, I mean, okay, fine, you can say for Trinidad, yes, but it's also, I think in Trinidad, it's not even so much of a mix of cultures, if that makes sense. And it's why we need Big Neck. Where's Big Neck? Someone ping him. See if you can get in here.
I can't ping him because he's gonna. He thinks every ping is a marriage proposal, and I can't do it.
Oh wow,
Okay.
Oh, hold on a moment.
All right.
that's wild.
But with Jamaica, is clearly majority African descent. So this just, to me, is stupid. But then we get onto the Hispanic islands, lower capital H. Sorry, excuse me, not lowercase. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sounding retarded. See, I'm reading this post term, you retarded. Where the majority of them are mixed or not black. Okay, but I don't think that's ever been disputed. But if we're gonna, now if we have to look at regional population, like, let me see. I'm gonna have to be doing the Wikipedia scholarship. Hold on, Wikipedia Caribbean region. Right. Let's see. Demographics. Okay. Life expectancy. I don't want to look at that. Do they not even? They must have a. Okay, they've got indigenous people of the Caribbean, but we're looking for everybody. And you know, it's funny. They didn't even mention indigenous people. Let me see.
Honestly, they're frequently left out of the conversation, so I'm just used to it.
Typical. I'm trying to find. They must have like a catch-all. Okay, they're giving life expectancy, but that's not helping. All right, hold on. Let me see if I find another way of doing this. Ethnic demographics, Caribbean. All right, let's see.
Never mind. I'll tell y'all after.
All right, hold on. So okay, they still are not
You
really.
know,
They're not really giving. See, then they've included people in the US, and then they've not included all the other islands. I'm trying to find somewhere I can actually get, like, oh, this is how many of this type of people. But these are not even statistics that I don't think our governments really keep, to be fair.
Right.
But I just want to kind of find something to just be like, okay, according to this is like our benchmark. Right. Let me see. Percentages or population percentage. And now it's giving
percentage. Sorry, go ahead.
You finished?
Sorry.
I'm gonna go on these bootleg websites. Like, I'm just trying to find where. See, I don't even think they really keep stuff like this. There is no. You know what? We might have to do this country by country. Okay, let's do this country by
Honestly,
country.
yeah.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You're ready to get kicked. That's what it is.
No. Oh, okay. I'm fine. I'm good.
All right, so I'm gonna use the Wikipedia demographics for the Caribbean page. So we're gonna start off with PR. Okay, so PR, according to the Wikipedia, as of 2020, by race, 49.8% multiracial, 17.1% white, 7% black, 0.5% Native American, Asian, 25.5% other. So you guys have like a significant alien population. Yeah. So that's that, right? That's
Yeah.
US. Do we count Virgin Islands, or am I being divisive?
I guess count them.
No,
Whatever.
then people don't exist. We're not gonna count them.
Bro.
Wow.
They don't exist. Let's just skip. We're gonna skip Cayman.
Oh,
We're gonna skip Cayman, and we're gonna skip Saint Martin as well. Sorry, Helix. Well, we're gonna skip them. All right, let's go to Cuba. So Cuba. Oh, I forgot to mention the actual figure, the population figure. All right, can someone write down these numbers?
oh crap. Oh,
See, because
let me take off my
we're
note.
gonna have to do super study with this dumb post.
All right.
Okay, so according to Wikipedia and Kamatiri, as a Puerto Rican, you might even know the answer off the top of your head. How many people reside in the island? According to the 2024 estimate, 3.2 million.
That's about right.
Okay, so 3.2 million with basically 50% being multiracial, 17% being white, and 7% black. Okay, but then you also have a 25.5% other. So I don't know what kind of weird people you have going on over there.
So for some context, there's a lot of like hesitation for even dark Puerto Ricans to identify as black. Because blanqueamiento is not just physical, it's also psychological. So
yeah.
The statistics is what we get, basically.
All right, so we're gonna add that 25% on, and people gonna say, "Oh, but you don't know." No, we're adding it on. So, so 25.5% plus 7% is what? 32.5% black. That's what
yeah. About.
Okay, that's it. So now we have that. Okay, then we have next island I said was gonna be Cuba. Right, Cuba has a ginormous population of estimate 9.7 million people. Right, hold on, and then if we go into demographics, we have 64.12%. Well, just 64% white, 26. Huh?
Oh wow.
Well, this is, and the thing is, this is only from 2012. This is from 2012. Let me see if I can. Hold on, let me turn the VPN on my phone because I can access the Cuban government website from my phone, but so I haven't even put the information up there. Let me see. Hold on. Let's have a look. I was about to shout out the VPN company, but I don't want to sound like those YouTubers and I don't get paid. Then again, screw it.
Basically.
Shout out to NordVPN because without NordVPN, how will I get my Iranian television?
I'm done with you. I'm so done.
Alright, I'm gonna connect to Dominican Republic. Okay. And then we're gonna go to Cuban government website. Okay. I love whenever I click on the Cuban government websites, it takes like 10 years for the page to load.
Oh yeah. They have that Soviet Wi-Fi.
Yeah, seriously, like the servers are so slow.
My back.
Please, Cuban government, I actually respect Cuba very much. Please, when I get there, hopefully next year. Huh?
Oh, anybody listening, I'm looking to leave the US. I will marry your ancient son, but I will be taking his land. I will be taking his land.
What the hell?
I love it. It just, do what you have to.
Just in case you were wondering, yes, I'll take him off your hands, but I'll also take that land off his hands. Thank you.
Right, where do I find right nation and immigration? Right, let me click on that. Does that have? I'd imagine that's where they keep the statistics.
Nationwide is on your side.
No, it's not. They're
Maybe not.
It
interesting
really
as
isn't.
fuck. Wait, what's
Yeah,
nationwide
it
for you
does.
guys?
An insurance company.
Oh, for us here, it's a bank.
No,
Oh,
Oh
okay.
damn it, I can't read
I mean
Spanish.
they're both scammers either way.
You're a scammer.
Just know if you're an American and you live in America, you live in a scam.
Wow.
You heard it from me.
It's because she's reached her awakening. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's just estimate, right, that the racial demographics are still the same because boy, Cuba's websites are too slow for my liking. So
It is.
64% white,
You know what's
26% mixed, and 9% Afro-Cuban. That's what it says on Wikipedia, right? So out of 9 million people, well, wait, this is a tricky one because they've put 9 million as of 2024, but they're giving racial statistics of 2012.
hmm,
Uh,
hmm,
Hmm.
hmm,
although
hmm.
it seemed like there was a population drop, so maybe the percentages skewed a bit. I have no idea.
It's saying it's due to low fertility and migration.
Is it? Hmm.
Honestly, the only people who can afford migration out of Cuba are whites. So
Okay, right.
Ain't that the truth?
Wow.
Sorry. I just
Okay.
I have more lore to homeboy. By the way, I'm not gonna say
Oh yeah, no, please don't say on
what
here
it
because
is
them
on
people do
stream.
not need to know
Yeah.
that. All right, next is
crazy.
Antigua. Mystic, watch your mouth about Antigua, please.
No.
Did you hear how she just breathed? She was just like, oh.
So it's already.
She heard Antigua
Every day.
and clenched her fist. Okay, so Antigua.
Fucking liars.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so as of 2022, it's roughly about 100,000 Antiguans. Okay, with
It's too many.
Oh wow.
87% African. Okay, 4.7% multiracial, 2.8%.
100% bullshit.
I'm trying to write down the.
Put that on the fucking board.
Stop. Stop.
What was it? What?
Stop.
I
Stop.
didn't lie.
Okay. Sorry, Caviteri, what was your question?
What were the percentages again?
Okay, 87.3% African, 4.7% multiracial, 2.8% Hispanic, 1.7% European. I guarantee them all a bunch of passport buyers and people.
Yeah, of course they would be.
1.1% Indian, 0.7%
No, great.
Lebanese. Huh?
What?
I said 0.7% Lebanese
What?
and 1.8% other. So, I don't know whatever's going on over there. Let's get off Antigua before Mystic breaks her neck.
Yeah.
Fucking baddie selling country.
Okay. Do we
Wow.
do we do we include Curacao? I'm not because they're still a colony, kind of, somewhat technically. We're gonna have to skip St. Martin again. Sorry, Helix. Right, Barbados,
Oh wow.
my place.
Wow. Helix, if I were you, I'd pop off.
Right now,
I'd pop off right now.
I'm about to, flex in all my blackness. Yes.
My blickness.
So Barbados, as far as I know, the population is about 300,000, but according to Wikipedia, the 2023 estimate was 281,900. Basically, 282,000 people as of 2022 or 20. Sorry,
That
What?
2023. You what?
that's an interesting decline.
I don't. Nah. Hold on. Oh, let me check. Shoot. What is it? Gov.bb. Okay, let me check. This site can't be reached. Of course it can't. Of course it can't. Why would you be able to access the government website online? Why? Oh my goodness.
Silly goose.
Yeah, stupid me, silly me. How dare I? How dare I expect? Oh wait, that might be
Doy.
Doy. Hold on. General information service. Oh gosh.
It was a silly me. Why not do that?
Yeah, why would I? Doy. Duh.
The idiot.
Stupid me. So dumb. Why would I expect information on the government website?
You should see America's government website is like going down. Like every day is a new piece missing.
Yes. Yes.
It's like every time you put your stock in the dryer,
Lovely.
just you don't see it again.
Love your third welding by each second. I love it.
We've been a third world. This shit's them people. What is it? Them Harvard professors that taught about like history and fascism. They left.
Of course
They immediately left. They left the country.
All right, I'm trying to.
I was.
Find. Why is Rihanna? You know, actually, I don't. Let me keep my mouth shut.
I just want to say a new PSA announcement. I will literally take most passports out the country. I will take most passports. Most people. If you need a daughter-in-law, I'm here. Help me get out quicker.
You know what? Stupid me, because I'm still not finding. I'm finding all pictures of government ministers in their best suits, and I'm not finding the statistics. Stupid me, silly me.
How's the fit? What would you rate the suit out of?
You know, I'll take one of the pictures now. Hold on. Let me show you this. See, this will turn into a whole other tirade. That we do not need to. This man out here dressed like Inspector Gadget. Hold on. Check.
Shout out to all the older trying to talk to 20-year-olds, and you look 60.
Look
you are 60 and you look 60.
This is what's on a government website. This is on an official government website.
I want to see.
Why? Why? What?
Boy, that looked like somebody's LinkedIn, not even LinkedIn. That looked like somebody's Facebook photo.
Right. Your dad.
Uncle on vacation.
The caption talking about slick and sexy or something like that. Just looking ridiculous. My goodness. Okay. So the point is, the Barbadian government. Okay. Let me go back to statistics. Let's stay on topic. So 92.4% black, right? Because last I checked, I mean, I've been to Barbados many a time, and I tell you what, I have honestly never ever seen a white Bajan. They exist. I know they exist. I've never seen them. I have never met one, never seen them, but I know they exist. Right, 3.1% mixed, 2.7% white, 1.3% Indian. Shout out to Mystic, and 0.3% others.
What is others?
You know what? It's boy. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably the lizard people from the government stealing all the money.
Bruh.
I love it. The name Barbados is either from Portuguese, Os Barbados, or the Spanish equivalent, Los Barbados. It's the same thing. Does it matter if it's Spanish or Portuguese? It's the same.
Barbados.
But I swear in Spanish, isn't it Barbudos instead of Barbados?
That's how it
Big booty.
Yeah, Barbudo.
Yeah.
Barbudo.
It was once.
What does it mean?
The bearded ones. Apparently, in reference to the trees that they saw.
I heard it was the sea foam.
The sea foam?
Yeah, the sea foam like beards.
You said the what?
Oh, so Mara says that's because of the sea foam on the shore that they saw.
Well, how would that look like a beard?
I don't know.
seen it. I was there. I know. They sent it. I was like that.
I don't know.
I'm so glad I can't.
909.
Focus.
I'll wait for Mir to haul off on my ass one day. I'm waiting.
All right, focus. We're only on B. Okay, Grenada next. Okay, so Grenada with their tiny baby population. See, let me not be disrespectful because Grenadians do not like when you say stuff like that. So 2024 estimate. That's where Bank Boss comes in. 2024 estimate: 114,000 people. Okay.
Wow.
I know. See, they're so tiny. They're so tiny.
Everyone there is related.
See, I didn't say that. Ethnic groups: 82.4% African, 13.3% mixed, 2.2% Indian, 1.3% other. Now, I'm very curious though. How do you get a mixed population so high, but then like there's no real other ethnic groups? I'm just curious.
Basically.
I'm thinking that those are probably, I can't remember what they're called. They have a term for them, but I think is it Petite Martinique? That's like basically where all like the white people or white-ish people live. I think they're like the Polish Haitians where they were white once and then they started to mix in, but they're still quite distinct. But there's a term for them that I cannot remember, but it's not Shabin because I think that's in Dominica. But they're kind of like Shabin people where they're like white but not white. All right, next island, Bahamas. Screw them. We're gonna leave out Dominican Republic. No.
That's a lot of people, to be
I
fair.
was gonna say it's a lot of people to skip. Like Bahamas, you can kind of skip. Dominican Republic, you can't really skip. So
Yeah.
Dominican Republic population. Oh, okay. So they have a 2025 estimate.
Mama huevo.
Mama huevo. Okay.
Sorry.
Ding, 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 ding.
See, hold on. Now I have to play the sound thing. Hold on. This has gone so off the rails. Okay, right. 2025 estimate is 11.5 million. Okay, so ethnic groups are from 2022. 17. Pardon. Ooh, see that post term me retarded. Basically, 72% mixed, 18% white, let's say about 7.5% black, 0.3% East Asian, 0.3% other, and 1.43% no answer. So they don't even know.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Oh, hello, baby.
Hi, little baby.
Oh, baby.
Can you say wepa?
Okay, so that's Dominican Republic, which is like
I'm never gonna tell people what you taught her.
Oh, no. Focus. All right, Trinidad and Tobago. All right, Trinidad and Tobago. Now, population. 2024 estimate 1.5 million. Okay.
Right.
See now here. Okay, so we looked at the one at University of the West Indies, and they're roughly, it's about 40% each African and Indian. Okay. With about, I think, another 20% mixed. Yeah, basically 40% Indian, 39.5%, round that up, 40% African, and 20% mixed. Okay. Then we have, right, let's go back. Next island. I mean, do we need to count St. Lucia and St. Kitts?
You're just hating on them.
I'm not.
Said fuck them niggas.
Listen, I'm just skipping over.
Okay, let's include one of them just to be a little more like, reaching out to the entire region. But we don't need to do every small island either.
Okay. So we do St. Lucia. Okay. Shout out to the St. Lucian that people are loud for no reason. Big up all the St. Lucians in London that like to go on those coach trips to France in the summer, and all you hear first in the morning.
Oh wow.
Suck a fat. really loud for no reason. Ah man, solutions lovely people, very lovely people, extremely loud, extreme like for no reason. It's so loud.
There's literally a lizard on Puerto Rico called a Saint Lucian.
See, are they
That's
like
really crazy, and that is racist. And I will be calling the police.
It's a small one.
are
Yeah.
those lizards loud? Do they make noise? I want to know.
I think.
Watch they be black with
What?
big lips. Watch,
That's crazy,
watch.
boy.
Yeah,
Let me get
it
it.
would be. That'd be very Puerto Rican of them to do.
I tell you what though, I was on a bus once, and there were these two St. Lucian men sat next to each other, like side by side, shoulder to shoulder, screaming at each other, having a conversation. When I tell you, that was like the first time in my life I genuinely could not hear myself think. Like I actually couldn't form thought because they were so loud. And it's always the St. Lucians, always them. Then followed by the Dominicans, loud for no reason. But Dominicans will just
Ooh.
cuss you out.
This
Let me see.
Right. So
No, not that
what?
one. No, I got it. I got the picture of this lizard. Here, I sent it in VC.
Let me see. I just want to say shout out to the people in our server who live in Haiti and who are going through it right now. Shout out to June and shout out to Covenson. They will probably never hear this, but shout out to you guys anyway. Ew, what is that?
That's a that's a Saint Lucian.
That is ugly. For a minute, I was like, is that a worm? But then I realized no, that's the tail, and then I see its head. Ew. Oh god, I zoomed into it by accident. Ugh. I don't like reptiles. I do not like reptiles. Ugh. Anyway, back to St. Lucia. Right, population. Right, they have here
All right.
actually. Oh no, wait, we can check on the University of the West Indies. That's a better source.
Oh, all right.
Right, Wikipedia is funny. So population estimate 2024 180,000 people. Right, shout out to them.
Wow.
Right, with 90% African descent, mixed 6%, Indian 3%, European 1%, then passport buyers. Yes. Okay. 90% literacy rate. What is going on?
Oh wow.
What is happening with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, see, I'm not being hateful. I'm gonna leave out St. Kitts. Okay. Shout out to them. Right, Jamaica. Now. Oh wait, no, I can check
Jamaica.
University of the West Indies again. Right. So Jamaica, according to University of the West Indies, right. So population of 2.8 million people, 76% African descent, 15.1% Afro-European. I think that's just mixed. I just think that's mixed because I've never heard of Afro-European.
That's mixed, honestly.
Yeah. Who's I'm Afro? I've never heard a Jamaican either say Afro or European. Let alone
I've never heard. I've never heard that term being used in any context either.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Afro-European. Shut up. 3.4% Indian. 3.2% Caucasian. You can say white Jamaican. Anyway, and 1.2% Chinese. Okay.
What was the weight?
The 3.2%. You know that the significant non-black population of Jamaica, as this person said in the post.
All right then.
Let's see next on the list. Next on the list. I mean, look, we're gonna skip over St. Vincent. Free St. Vincent. That's all I'm gonna say. Ralph Gonsalves. Utimu, Fidel Castro. It kills me. It kills me because I follow his page on Facebook. Every time I check my Facebook, there's just nothing but Ralph Gonsalves. He's gone to visit some random lady's house and he's just eating the food in their fridge. Just sat down chit chatting, and it's all nice to be humble and down to earth and whatnot. But when they call him Comrade Ralph, I'm like, Comrade in what sense? Like when you're using that, It's like when he went to receive an award in Nicaragua, but I guess the Sandinistas have obviously gone off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was there getting an award with Daniel Ortega, and like they all like hugged up and stuff. I'm just like, with all due respect, Ralph Gonsalves. Say what you want about Daniel Ortega. At least he actually, last I checked, he actually fought.
Yeah.
He actually had to fight. Like Ralph, you got big. That's what you did. You fought your way to heavy calories. That's what you did. Respectfully. This is not going well. Okay, and last but not least, Haiti. So let's go to of course. Why would University of the West Indies not have Haiti, the biggest CARICOM country there? Of course not. All right, so now we're gonna have to rely on Wikipedia. Don't know how that's gonna work, but I think we can all fairly say comfortably that Haiti is like virtually 100% black. I think we can say that with relative comfort. With
Basically.
population, we've got a population of 11.5 million people, according to Wikipedia. I don't know if you can hear that bike in the background.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, people out here just stupid. Haiti is 95% black. So yeah,
What a surprise.
there you go. That's it. I really hate to see that they've put Haiti has been described as a failed state on the Wikipedia, because God willing, when it's our
Of
time.
course.
Yeah, no,
Of
don't worry,
course.
don't worry. No, they can say that. They can say that, but don't worry. Not forever. Not forever. But yeah, and that's actually another thing that they didn't consider is the largest Caribbean population. Well, it's between them and Cuba. Cuba's gone down, so it is now Haiti. Majority black, like literally, virtually all, with the rest being mixed and like barely
Right.
any white and the few Arabs and stuff like that. Like, come on now. Come on now. So again, okay, stupid. All right, should we go on to paragraph 2? I think we've been on this too long.
Yeah. Paragraph 2. Let's go.
All right, let's see this bullshit. Right now, there. This is also a problem in the UK because Caribbean is synonymous to black culture. Now, I hate this in many ways because not only did they not say synonymous with, because that's how you use the word, but this whole idea, this notion of black culture, whatever that means, is American. That's an American thing.
Yeah.
I last time I checked, when we go home, we're not talking about black culture. Like when you're in Puerto Rico, you're not talking mixed culture, black culture. Who says that? Who says that? So this is how I know that this person is in the UK and they're Yankeefied as most people in the UK are, because they don't have any sense of independent thought outside of Yankee racial norms. So, whatever this black culture is, then you have non-black Caribbean people will get denied their culture and identity for not being black. Which I had to think about that. I've never ever come across a Caribbean person who's not of African descent and gone, oh no, you're not, no, you're not. Like, who does it? Who's doing that in the UK? I really want to know. I really want to know who's doing that in the UK. Like, I genuinely want to know, because this is something I've never come across. Bearing in mind that the majority of Caribbean migrants to the UK are of African descent, mostly being Jamaican, which Jamaica is a heavily majority African descent country. So, where is this happening? In all my years, I grew up around, the elders who came here back, when people first started coming here en masse. And majority of them, like, you would get a few mixed people, or like, yeah, they're like mixed or very light-skinned black people, which are basically just, mixed people that, I don't know, somehow they don't meet the mixed category or whatever. And no one was like, oh, they're too light-skinned, they're not Jamaican. Said no one ever, or we're gonna deny them their culture. I mean, who's doing that? where people get denied is like when I can't stand these Pakistani people, or like Arab people or whatever, and they come with and the thing is, it's because they call it London slang when it's not London slang. It's Jamaican patois that has been hijacked and anglicized. You're laughing, but I'm being serious. They've taken patois and made it easy for
Oh wow.
the average kid, with the Pakistani population and the Arab population, all the other, what they call BAME groups here, black and something minority ethnicities, whatever they call it here, to basically latch onto that and be using that as quote unquote London slang. Oh, well, see, that just gets under my skin. But the point is this: those are the people that kind of, at least I've seen, get checked about why they're speaking like that, because it's like I've had where someone that's like Arab speaking to me like that, and I'm like, why are you talking to me like that? Like don't talk to me in patois. First of all, I don't know you, and secondly, you're not even Jamaican. So are you just talking? Well, because you look at my skin and assume. I mean, you assumed correct, but still, don't talk to me like that. I'm not gonna speak to you like that. Like no. So anyway, so continuing on, but people from fucking Africa are allowed to have a sense of entitlement to our words, events, music, etc. As someone in the UK, maybe this is happening in Birmingham or some other part of the UK, because I mean, I'm only one person. Yes, it's anecdotal, but in all my years in London, I mean, sure, you get people from Africa that may enjoy, and even then, because you have Africans that will shit on soca music, and that's fine. If you don't have to like it, it's not for you to like. But I've never heard them have a sense of entitlement to our words. Like this just sounds like something that is in this person's head, and they're just projecting. They have a problem maybe when they hear Africans say something maybe in patois or whatever it is. I don't know. It sounds ridiculous. Then you have the inverse happens to Afro Latinos, where they're not seen as Latin American for being black. I don't know, Kamatiri, you're gonna have to speak on that.
That doesn't really happen in Puerto Rico. I feel like this is a mainland thing too, because yeah, no.
Well, Kamatiri, you're also from Nayib Bukele town. You know, mainland-ish. I think that's more of a South America thing, though. To be fair, it's sounding like more of a South America thing, but
Yeah, in Central America, that's just most people are mixed race and most people are not white. And there's a minority of black people um who also have native ancestry. Like they so if you're not part of the overall mixed race culture, you're seen as the other, but you're not necessarily seen as less Latin American than the rest.
right. So it's not a thing of they go like, "You are not Latin American." Ah!
Yeah, exactly, because that term isn't historically like acknowledged anyway. That Latin American is more like a term used in the US anyway.
Okay, perfect. So this person says, I know black Brazilians and black Colombians who get denied their heritage every day, but in school, kids from Spain and Portugal will call themselves Latino and everyone will go along with it. So, okay, this is definitely somebody that's in the UK. And I have a feeling London, especially, because, I mean, you will find the. I've encountered Colombians more so just with the music thing now. I don't remember. I mean, not in my part of town. Did we? I don't think I went to school. We had a lot of Brazilians. We had Brazilians. I remember there was this one kid called Ricky. He wasn't Brazilian. He's Angolan, but he kept calling himself Portuguese. I'm like, Ricky, you're Angolan. Like, stop calling yourself that. But you know, I mean, black Brazilians who get denied their heritage every day. I mean, how would you know?
This is weird. That's a weird take.
Yeah, like you can't quantify that. You can't prove that. Like you would have to literally find someone that's like they deny. Who's denying you your heritage every day? but then kids from Spain and Portugal will call themselves Latino. I mean, I went to school with Portuguese and Spanish kids. They never said anything like that. I mean, there was this one.
Also,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, what was that?
No, go on, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say no one. I haven't seen a Latin American be fine with a Spaniard or Portuguese call themselves Latino.
And I've never come across, especially the Spaniards. In my experience with Spaniards, they definitely do not want to be called Latino. They're offended by that. They don't want to be referred to as that. So yeah, I mean, I went to school with a Portuguese. He's again Portuguese, but I'm assuming then his family were from were settlers in Angola. So he kept saying that, oh, I'm African too. It's like, no, Fabio, you're Portuguese. You're Portuguese. You speak Portuguese. If we pick you up and we drop you in Funchal or wherever, you're fine. You're Portuguese. You're not from Angola. Just because your family are born there, that don't make you Angolan. You know.
Right.
But yeah, that's like the closest that I've ever seen of someone. And even then, saying you're Angolan does not make you Latino whatsoever. That's just silly.
That's weird.
Yeah, and they're like everyone would just go along with it. I don't think they're just projecting. This is a strange take. But then what makes it even less what makes even less sense is that every island has a mix of African, European, and Taino influence. But that's just not true. That's literally not true. Every island doesn't have. Certainly, if you're talking about indigenous, like every island doesn't. That's just not true. That's just
Where
where is that even true?
the totality of indigenous people, if you round them up, like in the entire Caribbean, I'm pretty sure it's not more than 20,000 people.
And then if
Let's
you're
be real
talking
here.
about the influence, let's say let's say quite significant influence, I would say for Barbados, the only thing that I can think of is you have an area called the Savannah, right? You have was it conkeys that's made with corn and you wrap it in the banana leaf and you steam it. Like, okay, there's that. And even that to a degree is disputed because you have West African groups that also mash beans and treat them the same way, put it in the leaf and so on. So that's even up to debate as to where that has even come from when it comes to Barbados. But like realistically, there is no real influence there. There is just none. And that's
Right.
not it's not like a good or a bad thing. It just is what it is because especially Barbados was depopulated, completely
Yeah.
depopulated of its
As well as
indigenous
Bahamas.
inhabitants.
It was completely it was completely depopulated.
Yeah, same with Bahamas as well. I mean, if you look at Bahamas, I mean, it's just Yankee Town, Florida. So I don't know where the Taino influence is there. When you have places like New Providence, that sounds very, very indigenous. Same thing with Barbados. Virtually every place is named after some kind of plantation or slave owner.
Oh my gosh.
It's true, but it's true. It's true,
That's
or you have the parishes that are named after the saints. St. Lucie used to be called Scotland. The capital Bridgetown. Not sounding very, indigenous to me.
coming
My
across
goodness,
that so commonly
this
in
is
the
just
other
not
aspect
true.
to me.
Right.
What was
Right.
Mira saying?
That I feel like I normalize having indigenous names for towns because when I started coming across what you're saying, that all of the islands have like European names or plantation names, it it was quite shocking to me. It just didn't seem normal.
It's not. That's the thing. It's not normal. And see, now you're about to get me into why me and Motley's a scammer, but I'm gonna go into why she's a scammer. So, when Barbados was becoming a republic, and she's talking about it's time to break away from the chains of colonialism. I understand that there is gonna be a cost to changing these things, but I mean, at least let's say we're one place. You better start renaming these places, really, because these are named after plantations. I'm not saying forget the history, and that doesn't mean that by renaming it you're forgetting the history. But
Basically.
we're still continuing on colonial names given by rapists and criminals and thieves and pillagers. And we're just, well, like where my family are from, named after the plantation that used to be there. I'm not gonna dox my family, but they're there. It's ridiculous, really. I mean, these leaders have no shame. They really have no shame. But
no, they really don't.
And even then, okay, you rename it, but in terms of the strong influence, it's just not there. I don't know what Lebanese influence there is. What I mean, if you let me know, because they're gonna say it's anti-Semitic. Chinese influence. Sure, they do a nice chow mein in Guyana. They definitely do. Chinese food, very tasty, a lot less greasy. And Indian, of course, sure, because you have significant Indian populations in Trinidad, Guyana, Suriname, even I think St. Lucia. There's not that many of them, but they're visible, right? And that's fine.
Right.
And Jamaica as well. And we like to eat curry, and that's fine. But the Indian influence is more just to Trinidad and Guyana. So
yeah,
I don't know. Every island is a and they're talking about the mainland as well. Sorry, let me go back. Wait, did I say that Suriname? Sorry, did I say that Venezuela and Panama aren't really like Caribbean countries? Did I go over that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. But yeah,
you briefly mentioned it. You just didn't flesh it out.
But yeah. But they're talking about I think they're just talking more of the countries in South America because every island, no, just no. European influence, and this also goes back to that stupid subreddit where people seem to be acting like our cultures are just so unique and just born out of a vacuum, as if our culture isn't literally like Creolized African culture with European influence. Like, obviously, yes, Europeans have left a cultural imprint and a mental imprint, which is not a good thing.
Yes.
Does that mean that are we supposed to identify as European? I don't know how that has any effect on the population. And yes, of course, they couldn't exclude having a mix of African because Africans, if let's say for instance, right, we add the population, we add like the non-African population of Cuba, PR, Dominican Republic. There's another island I want to say who I cannot remember. Oh, like Saint Martin. Now we know that people in Sabre exist. Who else? What's that other one? Saint Bart's. I mean, do we even really include Saint Bart's? Nah, we don't include them. They're not real. Who else? Who else?
We are really shitting on those little islands right now.
Look. I said what I said. I said what I said. So I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm not gonna lie to you. I lost my train of thought.
Oh my! Wow.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
You did that to yourself.
If you add up the non African descent people, right? Maybe it's like it's on par with the Afro. So maybe it's like they're almost the same amount of people, half and half, right?
Yeah.
But not every island is influenced in the same way. So I just don't see
exactly.
Like, what is the point? But then they have the nerve to say that they feel like American, that people push American logic. I feel like this is a lot of American logic, to be honest, which is not really looking at different ethnic groups, understanding their spread, and the actual true influence. Like I just think it's so ridiculous. Let me go on to the next bit. Right. So I feel like they push. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's just ironic that they're calling out this kind of American way of thinking when they're doing the same thing, just different packaging.
Right. Basically, and this is someone from the UK who's Yankee-fied out their mind anyway.
I keep forgetting that they're from the UK.
That's it. You see revolution they're trying to stir among the island people. The poor back home island people that just, they want to just live their lives and wear their flip-flops in peace. They don't want to be troubled with this. Right, so they said it's not the same as African Americans where all their culture is from them directly. Which is just what? They are just as creolized.
Yes. Otherwise, they wouldn't be included under the, that whole Atlantic Creole umbrella thing.
Exactly. They're just as creolized. They're just in the US, that's all. Let me guess. I mean, their culture or cultures, various cultures, they're certainly not African in the sense, like, I think if you compare it to contemporary or even some, I'm sure they have some practices left over and whatnot, but I mean, it sounds like this person is saying that
All right, I'm back.
Oh, Mystic, you're half African American. See, you're just in time.
Oh,
Mystic,
what?
you didn't know that?
Wow.
No.
Yes, you did.
Commentary, stop playing. Yes, you did. You're a liar.
Oh gosh.
You think I grew up in Jamaica sounding like this?
Okay, so Mystic. So we're to the second screenshot now, where this person says, "I feel like people push American logic on the Caribbean too much. It's not the same as African Americans, where all their culture is from them directly, and everyone who's African American is obviously black." See, that's a stupid statement, and I'll tell you why. Because one, that implies that African American
What do they
culture
mean
is
by that?
literally purely African, which it's not. And two, you have some African American people that look white as hell. So,
oh yeah, white passing.
Exactly. So it's like, what's this person even talking about? What are they talking about?
That was a confusing statement. I don't know what they meant by that. Like what? Like what? Like we just like we have an untouched culture. Like what do they mean?
That's basically what they're saying. They're saying that African American culture is from them directly, as if.
No, it's not. It's been influenced by slavery and other and then we were mixed and matched up and like we mix. You can even see it in like Gullah Geechee people. They have mixed practices.
Yes.
That
doesn't even make. Who wrote that? That doesn't make sense.
An idiot wrote that. Exactly. That's who wrote that. An idiot. Someone who's there to. Someone in the UK sitting in their bedroom, rubbing their hands like Birdman, creating trouble.
Tell him to get offline. Damn. Idiot.
So stupid.
Let me stop.
So then they say a white American is ethnically different from a black American due to them having a different culture and history. I mean, first of all,
hold on. I'm sorry. I'm at my job, which that person sounds like they don't have one. Give me a moment.
Okay. But just on that, I mean, I'm trying to like tie this back in. This is how stupid of a post this is. The same way that an Afro-Jamaican is different from an Indo-Jamaican. Okay. But the difference is there hasn't been, you see, and this is now going down to historical context. Europeans in America made the conscious effort to divide themselves, separate themselves violently from other groups of people, and made it very clear, we are this and you are that. Okay, fine. So obviously they're different. And there's also the economic factors that play into cultural norms for them and cultural norms for other people who are lower on the socio-economic pole. So this is just like no shit Sherlock. Different culture and different history. But then they say, whereas a Chinese Jamaican isn't any less entitled to Jamaican culture. Because a Chinese Jamaican is like very, very much separate from the Chinese, like mainland Chinese today. They don't speak. They don't speak Mandarin. They don't speak Cantonese.
I'm pretty sure the Chinese back in China have a name for overseas Chinese people.
Probably do. You know, they we know, like, I just don't get what their point is about this. But okay, the Chinese Jamaican isn't any less entitled to Jamaican culture than a black one. Furthermore, culture is shared with races over here. Well, you're in the UK, so you're in mix and blend paradise. So a black Jamaican with dreads and a bowl of curry goat in his hand wouldn't be called out for cultural appropriation, despite those things coming from Jamaicans of Indian descent. Okay, so
I like how they went straight for the curry goat. Though.
every time I've read that, I just imagine like some yard man with a bowl of goat in his hand. So I mean, it's not even to say that the way that curry is prepared in Jamaica is the Indian way, because it's not. Very different.
It's not. It's really
Exactly.
not.
They're acting like Africans weren't eating stewed meats before, where our ancestors came from. Okay, the
Now
Indians came.
we just ate plain meat with straight up water.
That's it. That's it. You know, because obviously even Africans today they don't eat stewed meat. Of course not. This is so retarded. The same way black Jamaicans don't care that Sean Paul, a white and Chinese Jamaican, wears his hair in braids sometimes. If I'm not mistaken, Sean Paul isn't white and Chinese. He has hold on. He's got some level of Afro heritage. So we're gonna confirm this using Wikipedia. All right, we're gonna have a look at Mr. Sean Paul Ryan Francis Henriquez. Yes. So we offer him to you Puerto Ricans. You guys can take him if you want.
Oh wow!
You want to take him?
Why do you want us to take him?
I still want to know what they meant that the only reason white people are ethnically different than black people is because we have like. Did they mean like because we come from different, we're derived from different diaspora? I'm not understanding what they mean by that.
Exactly.
I don't either.
Because it don't
I'm
make
trying to
no
understand it.
sense. The same makes no sense. It's dumb. It's dumb. Mystic, as part of the Jamaican coalition, are we able to auction off Sean Paul to the Puerto Ricans?
Ooh.
Why though?
You can take him.
What do you do?
That just give me the lie. That hits hard. I don't.
Actually, no.
But
I don't want to hear it.
I don't think we can.
We keep him.
what did he do though?
Nothing really. It's just that his name is Henriquez.
Oh.
Like, you'd fit better on with the Puerto Ricans with that name.
Listen, I
Spanish
seen a
Jamaican
Jamaican
people.
with the last name Fernandez.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I knew an old Jamaican man called Mr. What's his name? Mr. Hernandez. Yeah. Yeah. It's well, because obviously Jamaica, aka Santiago. No one seems to remember, but
It's still called Santiago. Let's stop lying.
wow. Wow. And let me guess. The capital of Jamaica is no longer Kingston, but Santiago de la Vega, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, Sean
And
Paul.
Mystic isn't Jamaican. She's Santiaguese.
No, she's Dominican. Mystic is Dominican.
Okay. Never mind then.
Light skin from New York, Dominican. No question. So Sean Paul is of Chinese Jamaican descent, has some English ancestry, Portuguese, and African descent. So he's not just white and Chinese.
What a surprise, you know?
I mean, you could look at him and tell. You have to be pretty blind to not see it.
Right.
I mean, for goodness sake. You can obviously see he's mixed. Like, yeah, but I mean, you could just tell he has a level of African heritage. He's just very mixed. People just, you see, this is what happens when you let idiots on Reddit and they just. All right, continuing on. We're about to get to the bottom of this.
Literally too.
Yeah, I understand that people can be naive. The nerve of you about other parts of the world, but I feel like basic level of information should be taught in school about different cultures and their history. Couldn't even spell histories right. Sorry if I was just ranting. You just cut. You need your internet cut off. Kamatiri, go off because I think I've gone off enough.
So this, honestly, all this reminds me of these Instagram people. I swear to God, I had to stop following them because the rhetoric was just like this. So some people try to like whatever segregate Puerto Rican culture between Afro Puerto Rican and non-Afro Puerto Rican, and I'm always like, what do you mean by that? Oh, they're not black. What do you mean by that? And they start entering into Yankee stand shit every time. Um, no idea where that comes from, to be honest,
But
or
I mean,
when the trend started.
so when they're saying that, it's like, okay, if you look at Puerto Rican culture, I mean, it's no different than, English speaking Caribbean culture in the sense of it has a very clear African derived base, and you have
Yes.
a level of European influence due to, Europeans basically controlling it as a colony and setting things like language and so on, right?
Mm.
But then when they say, well, separate it, what do you get on either side? Because last I knew of, I mean, I've not encountered many Puerto Ricans in my life, but if you separate the cultures, you're just gonna basically have, let's say, white Puerto Ricans just, they will have Spanish, and that's about it, really. And I don't know, maybe like some foods and stuff like that, and then
Guitar, maybe, I guess.
yeah, guitar and so on. Okay, and then you split the Afro side, and they're just gonna have what? I mean, they're gonna have music, and they're gonna have a lot. They're gonna have a lot more.
They're gonna have everything else,
Yeah,
basically.
basically. So it's like, well, what is like? What are you talking? What do you get when you do that?
I don't know. I've seen people going after Bad Bunny now recently because he's really gotten into like the attention of people when it comes to like him talking about Puerto Rico's issues and whatever. And they're like, but he's not black.
Okay, so what?
So
Wait, but in the context of what? In the U.S., like, I don't
I'm
understand.
white.
yeah, they straight up call him white too, and I'm like,
Okay,
what are you
but
talking
he's
about?
from Puerto Rico, so why does that even?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say to to those idiots on Instagram, and I'm like, they keep saying, but he's not black.
Even if he was straight white, he would still be living a Puerto Rican experience.
Yeah, but he has African ancestry. That's not even. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. I'm about to have an aneurysm, to be honest.
See, I was thinking
Oh
about this
wow.
earlier as well, right? Because I was like, my bandmate is Dominican. I really thought about it. I was like, okay, the only difference is that you speak Spanish, I don't speak Spanish, but we basically come
Right.
from similar backgrounds. I can't
And
tell.
even then,
Yeah.
oh my bad.
No, go on.
And even then, like in the Puerto Rican context, we also speak English, so we have that at least in common with Jamaicans and Lesser Antillians. So
But Bad Bunny, he's not super Negro, so he's not allowed to say that Puerto Rico is being destroyed by colonization. I guess. How dare he? That's. I'm trying to think of an equivalent. That would be like a white Jamaican basically saying, yeah, I live in Jamaica. My family have been in Jamaica for hundreds of years. Jamaica is going down the toilet and continues to go down the toilet. Hey, you can't say that. You can't say that because you're a white Jamaican. I mean, the truth is the
oh,
truth at the end of the day, but I just don't get. Bad Bunny's not white, so I don't get it. But even then, why does
Bad
white?
Bunny.
white Puerto
Oh
Ricans
boy.
are the extreme minority, and normally I would say, statistics are whatever, but honestly, it's much harder to get a grasp of the ethnic composition of an island when it has, you know, dark people, because dark people will want to like identify as white for reasons. Um, but you can actually count the number of Puerto Ricans who are unmixed. Like
This
they
is.
have never been more than 10% or 12% of the actual population.
Oh no, see, white Puerto Rican. See, I'm gonna have to Google this now.
Oh, and mind you, just like in 2010, right? most of the island identified as white, 75%, right?
Jeez.
That's how you know you cannot trust self-identification. You couldn't anyway. You couldn't trust that because we've been hammered into identifying as white regardless of skin color.
Is Shrek Nisha white?
I don't know. I'm just gonna call her white because she's being retarded.
Oh, you cannot say
It's
that.
crazy because she looks like an ogre. Is Fat Joe white? Oh, I remember he had said.
Nah, that's Fat Joe.
No, I remember there was like a controversy. I think it was like last year or the year before, and Fat Joe was like, "Yeah, you know, like I have black ancestry." They were like, "No, he's white." I was like, "Are you blind? Are you blind? Does Fat Joe look like a
Nah,
white person?"
Fat Joe looked like a Chinese auntie. Lean back.
Are you saying Chinese aunties have hair?
Yeah, Chinese aunties be
Wow.
having hair.
Oh wow.
I mean, he don't look white. He really doesn't.
Do the rock away. Lean back.
People
Lean back.
just you see, this is the American racial dynamic. You see how much confusion and frustration it causes because it's so dumb.
Yeah, they're trying to
Well, because it's
make
that one
these
drop
lines
rule.
of division between races when for the most part, that's even in whitewash Puerto Rico and well, I guess Cuba, whatever. But and at least in whitewash Puerto Rico, it's not as cut and dry either.
Here we go. I'm about to like the whitest Cuban that I've ever seen on the internet. I think was Joey Diaz. Like he looks like.
Oh, let me see. I gotta see his picture again.
Like he's like the whitest Cuban that I have ever seen. If you check general
Joey
chat,
Diaz.
check general chat. Now you tell me, do these
All right,
look
let me
like
see.
the same people? One is European and one is clearly not. I don't get people that are like, oh, Fat Joe's white. You're just like an idiot.
That nigga ain't white. He's a
Or
nigga.
they're like, oh, he's a white Hispanic or he's a white Puerto Rican. Are you?
Cut
Like,
that out.
just say you're an idiot. Just say you're an idiot. Say you don't know anything, and just shut your mouth.
Fat Joe was ethnically Bronx, and that's case in point. The end. Everybody need to shut up. When he goes to get his blood test, it's just 100% Bronx. Uptown, baby.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's funny. You know, I have to put that in the quotes. I have to yeah, I wish he could hear that because I think he would appreciate something like that. Hold on. Fat Joe is ethnically Bronx.
100%. That's an ethnicity.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. But yeah, people are saying Bad Bunny can't say anything because he's not black.
He's not white.
I'm trying to where is there's no logic in that. Now I would understand if you're saying, let's say for instance, right, that Bad Bunny, his parents are from Spain, right? Not that his parents.
Oh.
No, let's say that his parents aren't. They're not like, oh, their family moved to Spain and then he was born in Spain and moved back to Port. No. He is. Let's say his parents are Spaniards, right? Spain, Cortez, and all that, Ponce, and all that colonizers. I could then understand the logic. If you say to me, look, he's not really, he's white or whatever, he's really Spanish. Okay, fine. I can get that. Because I'm like, you're right, he has no real tie to the island. I mean, sure, it's nice that he's saying something, but he's a part of the problem. Then I could be like, okay, fine.
Very new.
But that's just not the case.
Victor, I never got called out for being as white as he is.
Wait, what'd you say, Mira?
Yeah, basically.
That a lot of this rhetoric is very new because Ricky Martin never got called out for being as white as he is.
Oh god, I forgot about him. I forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
neither
that
did
guy is
Cameron
actually
Terry.
straight
Nobody
up
called him out
Spaniard.
for being white.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Nobody ever said Cameron Terry. Wow, how pale you look.
He doesn't. Like he looks
Wow.
white, but he doesn't at the same time. Like I don't know.
Ricky Martin?
Yeah, like I don't know. He just.
It's a his jawline.
It's that Arab in him.
Oh, maybe
Wow.
that's what it is.
That North African sauce.
Too much sauce.
Oh shit.
I will say Mark Anthony looks like he needs to eat some food.
I'm so
He
sick of
always
Mark
looks
Anthony.
so
I am
late.
so sick of Mark Anthony. Straight up.
Why?
I am so sick of seeing this nigga in broad daylight. I hate it.
he looks like he's anemic all the time. Like
It's not
He
his.
does.
It's not
I've
his
always
fault.
been
But
concerned
like,
about that.
Didn't he have
I
drug
remember
issues?
when he
He
came
did.
out, and mad people were blasting his music, and like, I'm not trying to shit on him, but also, he's not the one.
what,
The
singing
be all
wise?
I
end
see
all.
that he models all the time.
Singing wise, yes.
See, I said the same thing. I don't think that he's that much of a singer because he does this annoying thing with his voice where it sounds like he's always whining, and I don't like that. Yeah, it's like shut up.
Okay, but the non-lyrical music aspect is top tier. You can't front on
He
that.
has an excellent band, right? Great musicians around him. But honestly, like if I could, I would just turn the vocals down and just listen to the music. I don't want to hear it. Sorry, Mark.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. You're supposed to be the singer, and then most people can say you have a good band.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I don't want to hear it. I mean, even like, see, when I watched the Hector Lavoe movie, I don't know who said, yeah, him. Who said that? Who made that decision? I want to know who made that decision because he doesn't even look like Hector Lavoe, number one, and two, he doesn't sound anything like him. And then they had the nerve to put out like a Mark Anthony does Hector Lavoe songs album. Don't ruin that for me.
That's crazy.
No, that really annoyed me. That really. What song was it? Hold on. See, now I want to find the song. I'm not gonna play it because I think that will definitely get the stream cut off.
Fuck demonetization.
They did.
I mean, I
did
already said the R word, so it doesn't matter.
Album, right? Named after the movie. I don't want to hear. That was it. It was Agwanile. He butchered it. I don't want to hear that. Do not ruin songs I like. Respectfully, I don't want to hear that. Oh gosh,
Disrespectfully,
I forgot she exists. Is she Puerto Rican?
No, she's Portuguese.
Ew.
She's from Madeira Island, so.
Oh, Ralph Gonsalves' people then. Yeah,
disrespectfully.
I just don't want to hear Mark Anthony sing anything. Nothing. I mean, he's a better singer than.
Honestly, not that.
He's a better singer than what's her face. What's that one there? Jenny from the Bronx. Mi Gente.
Oh God.
Jennifer Lopez.
Shout out from Jenny from the Block. That is her name. She
Honestly,
from the Bronx.
her voice
Jenny
is
from the
even more
Block.
annoying than his.
Yeah, I mean, you never really hear her true voice.
She. Is she Nick Cannon famous at this point? Like, can you name a J-Lo song that you were like, wow?
Do you know?
Honestly, I haven't heard.
There was a song.
Huh?
I was in a clothes shop a few months ago, and I heard a song. I knew it wasn't her vocals, but she's credited with the song. And now I can't remember. I think it was a Shantae Moore song, but they took it. I think Tommy Mottola took it and gave it to J-Lo as like an FU to Mariah Carey for some reason.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Remember when Mariah Carey bugged out on stage and talked about 9/11? Remember that?
What?
Yeah, she was she's having a bipolar meltdown.
Oh, wow.
She got on stage. and she was singing, and then all of a sudden she stopped and she goes, "But y'all don't want to talk about 9/11 though."
Mm.
And then just and everyone, the crowd stopped. They're like, "What?"
That is so left field.
See, I just
It
wanna
was
say,
like so wild.
go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, I had nothing else.
Oh, I was gonna say, see that even they know that Mark Anthony sucks. So El Cantante the movie got a 25% rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 107 reviews, but on top of that, right, they labeled Mark Anthony as the dullest of movie drug addicts. What does that tell you? If you can't even play a drug addict right.
And he had problems with drugs back then, which is why he looked sunken.
He still looks sunken.
Oh wow.
But the point is, he can't even. He sounds nothing.
Your
like
job was to be a
Hector
crackhead, and you were a crackhead, and you couldn't complete the job. Crazy.
Well, not only that, but you're okay. So you're a singer, okay, from the same country. Excuse me. From the same country, the same genre of music. You know, if I was Mark Anthony, I would have said, you know what, just out of respect for the fact that I don't even sound like Hector Lavoe, I'm just not going to do it. Find someone, because you have 1,000 people that look like him who could probably do a better job. And instead, no. And then you have the nerve to put out a garbage album. And then you have the nerve to have Jennifer Lopez, who can't even act.
Honestly, I don't remember any of the movies she acted in. That yeah, I don't remember any of those movies.
I've only ever heard of her being in the Selena movie, but I've never heard anyone. And I've not even watched the Selena movie, but I've never heard anyone go, "Oh, let's go see that Jennifer Lopez number in the cinema." Ooh, Jennifer.
No, they
Lopez.
say, "Let's go see Selena."
Right.
Bitty 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 bumbo.
What?
R.I.P.
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Did not really.
Her killer is still alive, just sitting in prison.
Oh, she ain't getting out. She tried to. She ain't
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's best that she didn't. It's best that she didn't.
I don't think Numa covered.
No, look at you.
She would have stepped
No.
out that prison and they would have blown her away. But yeah, you know, Mark Anthony, you suck. I just want to say it. You suck. You will never hear this, but should you somehow hear this, you suck. Please do not block any potential gigs that I may get, because I just remembered I also play in the little salsa field, and you never know. Maybe I'll go somewhere someday.
Yeah, he can use his name to cancel you.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, that bitch. She said I suck, and she called me a drug addict. No. My goodness. Well, I'll say
You
Jennifer
say-
Lopez. You also suck. She's someone that fails upwards.
What?
She fails upwards. Like she's so terrible, and yet she gets rewarded for being terrible.
Oh yeah.
Like,
She'll be featured on some shit randomly.
Yeah. It's only because of her looks, I think, why she's ever gotten ahead. Because I mean, just from listening to her babbling about being on the block and something about a sandwich, and if you know about the orange juice, Jennifer, no one's trying to hear that. So they just looked at you and just said, okay, this one, because we're not even trying to hear her talk. We're not even trying to hear her speak. You have nothing to say. You have absolutely everyone is in the studio or whatever doing Kerry Washington teeth face.
That's the
listening to her.
orange.
Huh?
Sunny D.
Yeah, Sunny D.
Ew. Sunny D tastes terrible.
Yes.
I'm mad that my mom used to give me Sunny D.
I wanted Sunny D as a kid, and my mom was like, "No, you can't have it because it's like bad for you." And then when I finally got old enough to try it myself, I was like, "Oh, I see why she said no. That tastes bad. That stuff is terrible.
It does.
Awful. Don't even. Well, I mean, nothing in America tastes like real fruit, but you guys have it rough out there. I feel for you.
We'll survive. Don't worry.
You know, maybe I'll make a new overlay with like Kerry Washington teeth face.
Oh wow.
I might do it right now. Hold on. Kerry Washington teeth.
Crazy.
I don't know how she does her face like that, but good for her, because she's meme worthy. She's definitely meme
Oh, no.
worthy. But someone really said Kerry Washington really be acting with her teeth. That's terrible.
Oh my God.
She does that face.
Didn't someone say she has horse teeth or something?
She has what teeth?
Horse teeth.
I don't know about horse teeth, but I know that there's a dinosaur that has teeth like hers.
Oh no.
You know the one. I don't know if I can I say it. Can I say it? I don't know.
Sure.
the Niggasaurus. You remember the Niggasaurus? Do you remember it?
I remember.
It's got teeth. Well, Kerry Washington has teeth like it. Oh my gosh.
I'm done.
I'm
Oh,
gonna...
post it in general, babe. Meta's gonna post a picture of that dinosaur.
All right.
In general.
Let me I'm gonna create a Kerry Washington. I'm gonna add it to
That is
hold on. Paste. And we're gonna remove the background.
I'm gonna remove the background, then I'm gonna get it. And then I'm gonna remove the background.
Shut the hell up.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you encroaching on my rights? Are you encroaching on my rights?
You're sounding
I'll call ICE.
You're sounding like morbidly obese, Starbucks drinking, blue-haired feminist. Please don't do that.
At this point, I sound like every Trump supporter known to man right now.
Oh my god.
And that leads me to my next ad. That leads me to my next ad. If you need me overseas, absolutely take my passport. Take my passport. I'll be cool with.
She doesn't know what she's wishing for.
I want to be in Vietnam. Come get me.
Oh wow.
Come get me.
You want to change your last name to fuck?
Exactly, because I might as well. The way I'm living in America.
PHUCC.
There was a place,
Add an extra K in there.
There was a place in somewhere in London. There's a restaurant called Fat Fuck Noodles, but it's Vietnamese.
You think they know? Like they just not even like you think they did that shit on purpose? Be like, yeah.
They do that shit on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did that on purpose, 100%. All right. Check the YouTube
Oh,
stream,
wow.
because I'm about to add this Kerry Washington teeth. She's gonna be.
I sound like
Kerry Washington. She's gonna be a part of the setup, because Kerry Washington.
Wait, how do I even see it?
I put the link in general chat, I think.
Oh.
Stream. I think I did. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, what's up, Kerry? That was my face reading that stupid Reddit post.
Oh, that.
Yeah. You see it?
Yeah, I see it.
I'm getting out because I hate my voice.
She just looks so disgusted. I'm genuinely disgusted that someone even. I'm not even gonna say they thought, because they were clearly not thinking when they wrote that, but they somehow mustered up the brain capacity to put fingers on a keyboard and put that message together. I'm genuinely offended by that, because that was so dumb. That was so dumb. Like, that they didn't even read. They just typed and sent, and that was it.
Oh yeah, basically they didn't even think it through. Or maybe they did. I don't know.
You can't have. Because thinking. If someone was thinking, they would have said, "Actually, you know what? This is dumb. I'm not gonna post this."
Oh, hold on.
You know, I have WhatsApp in my background and it's making that ping noise. I hope that it's not heard on the stream. I hope not. That'd be embarrassing.
That's probably gonna be heard, yeah.
It's like 1,000. It's that Creole group chat that posts like 20 billion times a day. So I just watch. I don't even say anything because I think half the time they don't even acknowledge when you say anything because they're all kind of just chit chatting in there anyway. So you just kind of get smothered.
The only time I got acknowledged was when I first joined in, and I was the only Puerto Rican there.
They were like, "Wow, this guy DEI."
Wow,
The Puerto Rican DEI higher, you know. Yeah.
crazy.
I think there's someone in there with a Spanish name, and I was like, huh. I don't even know if they're. I don't know if that's just them being funny, or if that's their real name or what. Is that you? Are you Mr. Facendo? Is that you?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Okay, that's somebody else then.
Hell no.
Well, you know, you're the first DEI hire, and that's the second one.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right, Mira, I just see what you put in the chat. Yeah, like the Facho is not white. That guy is not white. People just.
I mean, look at her nose.
People really annoy me. But then people in the UK again, because they're so Americanized. You know, UK people are like, well, that person that posted that Reddit thing is from the UK. So you see what I've been saying about people in the UK and how stupid they are and how
Honestly, they get
are.
poisoned by Yankee fan.
And that's what I'm saying. You see, because they come up with foolishness like this. I mean, anyway, UK people have a lack of common sense, and you know, they don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to think critically. They want to take all the racial cues from America because, in their mind, because we live in the UK, it's just like America. And in many ways, it is, in terms of, you know, Europeans in the US take on Anglo culture, and obviously we live in the UK, but the dynamics are just different. It just is what it is. It's not the same. We haven't been in the UK for hundreds of years. You know, we didn't face. There wasn't like legal, like there wasn't a system of segregation, for instance, right? Yes, there was segregation. You know, yes, black people, Irish people, and dogs were considered equal. You know, socially. However, it's just not the same, and so it just irritates me when people like you have the Shade Borough on Instagram. Just in some way, I think I just follow it more so just to see how dumb people in the UK are, and just to see like it's like a temperature check to see where their heads are at when they respond to certain things like this, and when they post stories where it's like, you know, like racial related or racial adjacent stories. You just see people and they're like, and that is why the black woman is the least protected. I'm just like, why are you spouting America? Like, where do you live? You're talking all this like you live in Kansas or something, and you live in London. Shut up. Stop using like it's so annoying. It really, you know. Let me go on Shade Borough right now and see if I can see the idiocy that I speak of. Hold on. Let me see because it's always silliness. Shade Borough, I mean, I think they're just paid to post ignorance.
Yeah, they just causing drama where there's none.
Yeah, but it just kind of exposes the idiocy of people in the UK. Let's have a look. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's that woman that keeps having babies and dumping them in the park.
What?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like she's on her fourth baby now. Whoever this woman is keeps having babies, dumping them in a park, and the police are like, "Listen, whoever you are, can you please just contact us because we need to figure out what's going on." Yep, that keeps happening. Thank God the babies are being found alive, but
I'm done.
But the only way that they know that these babies are related, it kept happening. So they were like, hold on, let's DNA test these kids, and they're all related. All
Oh
of them.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Handing government the power to sterilize people is something that's very questionable because of what they do.
Yeah.
But
What they did.
maybe people like that should be sterilized.
Maybe. Maybe. Oh, here we go. So you have this I don't know if he's a rapper or something here called Central C. Now he's Guyanese, right? Guyanese in English. His dad, I think, is maybe I think he's either straight Chinese Guyanese or maybe has like some Chinese descent, and his mom is white English. And these people are losing their minds over this. They're like, he's copying black culture, and I'm just like, what's this black culture you're talking about? Okay, and this is, again, this goes down to what I see as cultural degradation in the UK of taking on American urban culture and trying to basically normalize it. And now it's like you see this half Chinese Guyanese, half English guy who doesn't look white. But again, people are just so stuck on his skin hue that they can't see that he's not European. Well, he's half European, but he's not like full on Anglo Caucasian, mega Germanic. Like he's not that. And he has his hair in braids, so I'm sure he doesn't choose that, or maybe it's a stylist or whatever it is. But he's Guyanese, okay. So why are we acting now like we don't understand why he might have more of an identification with Guyanese culture or Afro-Caribbean people? Granted, yes, his dad is either full Chinese Guyanese or half or whatever it is, but he's Guyanese. So what did you expect? And people like, oh, the culture vulture. He's a culture vulture. A white guy trying to be black. What's that even mean? What does that even mean? Because last time I checked, this hip hop, rapping, whatever trap garbage that they put out, drill music, BS, that don't come from us. That's not our thing. But we're not talking about that. But then they'll go, oh, but it's black music. No, that's American. I wouldn't even call it music. But that stuff is from the US. That has nothing to do with you. Get that out of your head, people in the UK. You are not Yankees as much as you want to be. You will never be a Yankee. Seriously. Oh, God, I swear, UK people just piss me off with their idiocy. Just dumb. Just so stupid. No, it's just really dumb. Really dumb. Because, again, they want to... They've taken on... This is the problem with this whole thing of black identity as well. They've taken on black identity and they see themselves through the lens of how Americans see themselves and want to apply
Right.
here. And it
yes.
Work. It doesn't
work. They base it solely on DNA ancestry too. Forget the culture, forget everything else. Whatever. Which is gonna view you by what your DNA test says.
Exactly. Which doesn't mean anything, because see, it's like the same people that say, oh, your ancestors, they sold their own people. But we were in different nations. We're in different nations. The same, like, they are not the same. Just because you look at them and go, oh, dark skin. Oh, dark skin.
My brother.
They must be the same. Like, that's not how that works. Because call a German a Frenchman, I think they wouldn't like that. But for some reason, when it comes to people of African descent or basically non-Europeans, oh, skin looks similar? Same people.
That reminds me of when I was in college and I took this like algebra class, and these two African American women, me and them both, we would be a group together on project and stuff, and they admitted to me that and the algebra teacher, he's Black Canadian, right? Mm-hmm. And they told me that the only reason they're in that class too is because they looked him up and saw that he was black, and they were like, "Oh, we can get a brother for a teacher." That's their exact words. That's how they put it. And lo and behold, he treated them like anybody else, and he didn't make it any easier for them.
People just so
So they were
cynical.
disappointed when he would like give them C's or whatever.
That's it. And again, you see, I'm fine if they just. If Americans want to think like that, that's fine, because that's over there. That don't really affect me. If they want to keep doing that, then fine. But when it comes to over here, it just really irritates me. Like, guys, we are not them. You know, we have to use our brains and think. And if you think that you're gonna go back to the Caribbean with this BS, you are sadly mistaken, because it ain't gonna work out there. It's just not going to work.
It's
And
not.
especially, because we come from a region, I'll say for my island specifically, where the majority, like it's what, 94%, I think, was it? Bobby, it's like 94% black. They don't care
I think it
how.
was, yeah.
Yeah, they don't care how black you are. It's not even. It's not even a. It's not a thought. It's not a thing. It's not like, oh, this person is black. Okay, so
Yeah,
what?
especially when they're literally around you all the time. Like
Exactly.
I don't.
Black like everybody else. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Matt, this is we've been in this country too long. But I've been saying black people in
Yeah,
the UK are a lost cause. You just have to leave them to go the way of old Yeller.
their devices
Hmm?
to their own devices.
Yeah, basically. So
It's a little more significant when it's like places like Puerto Rico because yeah, I mean, most of us have black ancestry, but not all. Most of us, or I guess half of us, don't. We're not dark skinned like that,
exactly, because you have a mix. But again,
right?
I could just imagine what the conversations would be if you had a larger, like Puerto Rican and Dominican like communities and stuff over here. Oh god, and you just never hear the end of it. I see you just never hear the end of it. Now,
See. So with Puerto Ricans, you don't even have to imagine it because there's so many Puerto Ricans. There's more Puerto Ricans in the states than on the actual island. So a lot of Puerto Ricans stateside, they develop that same mentality, that like that weird. Oh, um, yeah, they just adopt that Yankee mentality and putting segregation where there isn't.
boy, I couldn't live there. I just could not live there. It would just be so dumb, because like if someone really approached me like that, it's like, okay, we literally come. We have more cultural similarity than you would with the average American. Like, why? Why even?
Exactly.
See, it's like Yankification. It's like mental illness. I mean, I heard someone say on YouTube, being American is like it's a mental state. It's a mental illness.
Can't be me, to be honest. That shit never got to me.
Yeah, people need to just think outside the box. That Reddit post was ridiculous. That was the dumbest thing I've read for a very long time. Let me just check Reddit one more time. Let me see. Let's see what else is on there. Oh shit. What's my Reddit email? I don't even know. Okay. Hold on. Let me check up my phone. See what
Also,
ignorance.
here's another thing, another detail that I overlooked. Right.
Mm.
Um, people on Puerto Rico, well, and I'm sure this is not unique to Puerto Rico, maybe, but people like especially dark skin Puerto Ricans, they'll call themselves, or they'll use the word negro, but um, people keep putting the Puerto Rican, identity of negro with American black, and I've always said that's not the same thing. Um, it's,
Elaborate on
and
that.
it comes down to, yeah, that comes down to um the cultural aspects of how one sees themselves as black on Puerto Rico versus how they see themselves as black in the United States. Um,
Mm.
so how people consider themselves black in Puerto Rico isn't um how do I put it? Uh, it's more like, oh geez, see, see, ah, this mental gymnastics stuff is getting to me.
It's tiring. It's literally because then you have to slap your brain back into like normal thinking after not thinking, listening, and reading garbage.
Right, right. Um, shit. Oh, that shit reminds me now. Okay, so
Sorry, I just seen something on the Aussie. Hold on a second. Let me put it in general chat. But go ahead.
all right, so so my dad made a joke, right, to this like very phenotypically black Puerto Rican colleague of his at the church congregation, right, and he made a joke about um saying that him and African Americans are the same, and the other Puerto Rican dude is like, I'm not. No, we're not the same,
Mm.
and he doesn't. A lot of Black Puerto Ricans don't identify with with the Black American identity.
Oh gosh, yeah,
They don't view
that
it
will
as the same.
upset them. They get upset when you say that.
Yeah, yeah, and they're like, it's not even about racism. It's just that I don't see myself in communion with them. We don't have much in common.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe if you're born in the States, sure, but like if you're born in the island, you're not you're outside of hip hop. We don't really know what Black American culture is like
Right.
and stuff like that. Basically, those type of comments. So the Black identity is, in Puerto Rico is it's based on a different cultural reality than Black identity in the U.S. Um, and it's not to say that we don't have towns where there's a lot of Black people in Puerto Rico because there was some type of segregation. Obviously, there's going to be that even on the islands. I don't know why people like whatever. Um, but it wasn't to the extent of like the way segregation worked in the U.S. Because the only Black majority town in Puerto Rico, I'm pretty sure it's Loiza, and that's like 64% Black.
Mm.
Um, but like in every other town with a significant number of like self-identifying Black Puerto Ricans, it's like in the range of 30, like 20 to 30%. Because the rest are just intermingling with the general population,
Mm-hmm.
rather whether it's because of a historical need to move elsewhere to find a job or whatever, right? Um, but then people will say, no, those are the only places of Black identity and Black expression in Puerto Rico, and I'm like, where the hell do you get that from? Just because they're majority Black, that makes no sense to me.
I th- I want to say I blame like these Afrocentric thinkers that just it's all just based on a skin color. You know what it is? It's like we say that we don't want outsiders to lump us all in together, right? And just go, oh, you're all just the same. But then I say we, not me, but then you have the Afrocentrics that go, but we are all the same. No, we are not. No, we are not. Now, when it comes to the Caribbean, I say we have a boilerplate culture, right? Where
Yeah, yeah.
we have so much similarity that I think it is dumb when we really try to nitpick on stuff because it's like you call it this and I call it that, but we're talking about the same thing. We eat the same thing. We react to same things in the same ways. We generally are the same, right? attitude
Yeah,
wise.
yeah.
But then we're talking about people now in, you know, the mainland, what's now known as USA, and they, I mean, just different culture, completely different culture. They were around Europeans a lot more, and see, I don't want to be offensive, but like, I kind of, I don't know. To me, their culture is more. It's like it's very. I'm trying to think how to say it. It presents itself more European. It presents itself more European. But I think that also is kind of to do with like physical geography in the sense of the way that Europeans colonized the US and built it up. It's kind of within that context. When it comes to the Caribbean, I think the way that it has been underdeveloped, trying to think how to phrase this, trying to articulate this. It's like we are able to retain certain things in the lifestyle that you just could not do in the US. That it makes
Yeah, yeah.
what they do in America, like, to me, I know that white Americans and black Americans are different culturally, but I see them as more culturally similar than to us.
Yeah,
Just because
yeah,
of that's it. It's the way of life. That's it. The way of life is different, and
yeah.
that is, yeah. And that's what they're not looking at. They're not looking at that. But then they're gonna go, oh, well, you're just dividing people on the yeah. But I mean, it's a way of life. People have different ways of
I,
life. I mean, that's gonna have an impact. I can relate more. For instance, like in this server, right? I think we have a nice DEI diversity spread, you know, of different islands, right?
mm,
I have more in common with you culturally, despite not our islands speak different languages, and we have different, you know, colonial histories. But the way of life is similar. I guarantee you, you can bring a Puerto Rican to Jamaica, well, yeah, to Jamaica or Barbados, and it's not going to be all that different, and it's functionable.
yeah,
But it will
yeah.
be a
Uh,
massive
Skin
culture
color
shock,
aside, anyway.
huh?
Skin color aside, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But you know how to function, and when people go like over to the US and stuff, massive culture shock. And I think this is stuff that people never considered. Like these mega hotep super street scholars just did the, well, we all come from Africa and then we all have similar skin color. It's like, yeah, okay, sure. But
You know,
that's not where it begins and ends.
it's really funny that you mentioned this aspect because I remember my dad saying that when he moved here to the States, like when he was 18, he never really like thought about his skin color, like because he's pretty pale, but you can see the admixture. Um, but he has never heard of the word Hispanic before leaving Puerto Rico, and then suddenly people started calling him Hispanic, and low key separating him from his cultural roots based on his appearance. Um,
Right.
and it was a culture shock for him. He would still tell me to this day, it was a lot getting used to be honest. That's what he told me.
Yeah. Like this Hispanic thing, it's like even I've heard commentary where people are blaming like Puerto Ricans and Dominicans for Donald Trump. And I'm like, I swear it was Mexicans that majority voted for Donald Trump. And it's like,
Pretty much.
do people realize that, like, because they do this, oh, the Hispanics. You do they not realize that because they all speak Spanish, that doesn't mean that they all view each other as the same. Because they are not the same
Exactly.
people. But they're doing the exact same thing that they don't like other people doing to them. You're just grouping these people together based on a language, which really doesn't make sense. Because if we do that, then white and black Americans are one and the same. But they'll say no. They'll say no to that because you speak the same language. You speak English. You speak English. You must be an Anglo then. That don't make no sense. So all people that speak Spanish are together. You know, the Guatemalan is the same as the Bolivian, who is the same as the Peruvian, who is the same as the Dominican, who is the same as the Mexican. You know, it's That's like I had to stop listening to American politics because when I heard them talking about the Hispanic vote, I was just like, you just sound ridiculous. You sound so
It is ridiculous.
stupid.
It's ridiculous.
The Hispanic
And
vote.
here's exactly. I don't have statistics on stateside Puerto Ricans on the percentages that voted for Kamala, but it was still a majority, a good majority. But there was a symbolic vote for the presidency in Puerto Rico,
Mm-hmm.
and nearly 80% voted for Democrat. They didn't like Trump at all.
Well, it's those Hispanics. It's your fault, Kamatiri. Your fault.
Oh gosh.
You damn Hispanic. People just seriously,
So yeah,
seriously.
it's Puerto Ricans just on average they voted against Trump. I don't know why. Again, I don't know why they're lumping us in with like other Spanish speakers from other countries
Because
just
Hispanic,
because most of
you
them.
guys are Hispanics. The Hispanics are all one Hispanic.
I never call myself that seriously
But you're
anyway.
a Hispanic. You're a
I'm done.
Hispanic. You know, because you're panicking in the Hispanic.
His piece.
Oh wow, man! I said don't be Hispanic, be his piece.
Hold on, let me put that in the quotes. Oh, that's a good one. That is a. Oh my goodness!
That
I
is
mean,
great.
it just goes to show you how stupid American racial dynamics are. But this all goes back to Europeans because it was them that was starting all this shit in the Americas. Hold on, don't his
Um,
be his piece.
I bet you the like 20% who voted for Trump symbolically on Puerto Rico were the sellouts too.
Yeah, of course. And that's all fine because to be fair, Democrat or Republican, it don't friggin' matter.
It don't matter. But the folks on Puerto Rico they voted like over like grossly overwhelmingly against Trump because of his treatment towards Puerto Rico itself. So
You know, I mean,
that's to be expected.
yeah. Well, you have to blame your Mexican Spanish-speaking cousins. So your Mexicans for Trump, your other Hispanics.
Didn't like a lot of Venezuelans voted for Trump too, and Cuban. Well, definitely Cubans.
Well, there you go then. You see, that's what you people did. You know,
Wow.
that's what you people did. Let me see. I'm just going through uh through the Reddit, the subreddit. Let's see. Uh,
I don't know why I whooped like that.
I mean, so far, I'm not seeing anything too ignorant. Not just yet.
Where?
I'm in the Ask the Caribbean Reddit. The indigenous people of the Caribbean. I'm kind of scared to click on it.
Oh, not that one.
I'm a little bit scared to click on it.
Uh,
Uh,
I already saw it.
uh, let's see. Is it how common is it to have ancestry from other parts of the Caribbean? Okay, that's just an idiot question. Um, that's just such a dumb question. Is there any people
You're like,
here
I don't
of
got time for
Taino
that.
descent? And if yes, which type of Taino? The brand new type. Someone said, I have 0.0001% Taino and am the oracle of all Taino culture. Ask me anything. I'm
Um,
dead.
gosh.
Someone said El Cacique de los Caciques. That's funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. Someone is trying to say that Cubans, Dominicans, and Puerto Ricans carry 10 to 20% of admixture, but then someone said Dominicans are down to like 3%. See, I don't know. I don't know. Are there? I don't think there are any indigenous people left in Haiti. Are there? Because someone's saying there is, and I really
Not that I
I
know of,
was
no.
gonna say because I asked the Haitian people in our server. I was like, do they exist? They were like, no, not anymore.
Maybe you could find like a family in like in the rural area where like they might, have kept some kind of practice
Well, I mean,
on a very localized level, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
I highly doubt it. I very highly doubt it.
Because that's definitely a thing in Puerto Rico and Cuba.
For sure, but I wouldn't say for Haiti. No.
I think in DR as well, like in one area of DR, they kept this practice that seemed to invoke yukahu.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that pronunciation changed because language loss leads to like degradation of like vocabulary and stuff like that.
Why doesn't the Bahamas have a large diaspora outside the Bahamas? I assume it would be because they have first world because they're passport sellers and uh,
Why leave when you have all this like paradise funded by whites?
hmm, hmm, hmm. You know what? I was gonna say something, but I'm not trying to be very offensive. Oh shit, Jarbo's in the chat. What's up, Jarbo?
What, the VC?
No, he's in the YouTube chat. I don't know how long he put his message there.
Oh,
Jarbo, why don't you just ping us in thing?
for real? He's just sitting there in the corner. I didn't even know he was
I
there.
didn't realize. You're moderator for you. Now you get the wrench. There you go. I want to be one of those people that you go into their chat, everyone is a mod. Have you ever been in one of them? Have you been in one of those?
Oh, what?
You go into a chat and like you look at you go into not a VC, a live stream, and the whole chat, everyone is a mod.
Oh, yeah. That usually ends up backfiring pretty bad.
Yeah, it does. It does. Like basically no one can say anything.
Because someone can kick you and then someone else can bring you back.
Literally. Let me see. Okay, then we've got the is this the when will CARICOM countries allow free movement of Haitians? I don't even want to get into that today. I don't want to get into that. I don't know because that's I don't want to get into that because I
I'm looking
guarantee
at the
you,
subreddit too.
I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read in that subreddit, and I'm gonna see something that's gonna piss me off, and then it's just gonna send me on a whole other tirade. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe another day. Yeah, we might have to stay in this subreddit because people talk some real BS. I just realized they have rules in this subreddit. Posts should be in English.
Really?
Yeah. It says posts should be English. As always, be respectful
Okay.
and kind. Yeah, right. No low effort questions. Are you kidding me? No agenda
That's literally what they
pushing.
do every day.
Right. They put no rage baiting. Okay.
No, wait. Okay, sure, whatever.
Posts that do not contain questions must have the flair, not a question. Okay. No zero discrimination. Okay. All right.
Oh, wow. I just came across this post that says, hot take, there should be an effort to reclaim African heritage and culture.
I commented on that. And I said I agree.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. I commented on that the other day. and I agree with the person, right? Because what people fail to understand. And see, okay, all right, let's pivot. Can you put the link
I'm
in
trying to
chat?
find your comment. All right, let me see. Oh, wait. How do I share it?
What is this? Announcement: temporary ban on Haiti and DR relations or anything remotely hinting towards said posts. Oh.
What a surprise! What?
My goodness.
Here, I posted it in general.
I have to say, I think that not to in my own horn, but I think I have the best Caribbean server on Discord because we don't do this division shit.
But you
We really
in
don't.
like wars.
Oh
I will
shit!
say
When
you.
did you get here? Wow. You know,
Just now.
Jabba's in the chat. Jabba's in the chat. You know.
Job will get a job.
Wow. Don't say
Wow.
that. Hey,
Isn't he in
You know
college?
what? He has a job though. That's the crazy part. Well, God bless. That's a hardworking Negro.
Wow. Okay.
Ah,
I
We're still
hate
recording, by the way.
these
I don't
motorbike
care.
people. Right. So if I do, I think is it newest? When I think I commented like maybe 2 days ago. If you, yeah, mine's is the newest comment.
Oh, so I should just like change it to like
Newest.
new comment, I guess.
Yeah, just go to new.
Wait, where do I even change that? I don't even see it.
Are you on phone or PC?
Grandpa
Phone.
commentary needs some glasses.
Wow.
Mira, get him his glasses.
Mm-hmm. I
I
don't
lost them.
know.
Wow.
She just walked back. She was approaching the phone and she walked back.
First I had them, then they didn't. I don't know.
See, that's why they're not.
Oh,
Wow. Wow. Crazy.
All right, so I'll read the post.
oh, agreed. Cultural revival and rejuvenation.
Mm-hmm. So I'll read the post. Hot take:
Estudamos.
there should be an effort to reclaim African heritage and culture. Haitians overthrew the colonizers entirely, building the world's first black republic and crafting a self-determined culture. Hispanic Caribbean nations were deeply assimilated into Spanish colonial culture and later forged a strong post-colonial identities during and after their wars of independence. In the Anglo-Caribbean, that kind of cultural reinvention never happened. Enslaved Africans weren't absorbed into the society or empowered to redefine it. Enslaved Africans weren't just excluded from the society they participated in and built, but were dehumanized for it. Were dehumanized by it. For example, fathers often wouldn't even attend the birth of their children of because from their children. Wait, fathers often would not even attend the birth of their children because from their children were not theirs, but instead their master's property, and this belief maintained itself for a bit after slavery. Even after the abolition of slavery, this confusion persisted because of the unique way the British maintained colonization. Contrary to popular belief, British colonizers were actually making more money after slavery than before. Yeah, that is true. The cultural exclusion was not only maintained but in some ways intensified. Afro-Caribbean people were often barred from a lot of areas of the island they inhabited by law and force. I don't think that was uniquely to the Anglo-Caribbean. I thought that also happened in the Spanish-speaking part, if I'm not mistaken. But correct me, commentary.
It did. So like um this was lax with emancipation in Puerto Rico, but even during slavery, because there was so many freedmen, like freedmen were always massively outnumbered the slave population, but their movements were pretty much restricted, and no more than three people could walk at this together.
Oh, nice.
So they were often excluded from like movements or whatever,
Mm,
because they were not trusted with anything.
So see, that's that bit of ignorance. They're just like, oh, it only happened to us. Not true. Not true. See, now we need Jabba for the Haitian aspect of this. Jabba, if you're listening, And if you can, let us know if you can pull up. Because, I mean, yeah, I would say that Haiti is probably the actual most distinct culture within the region because they literally could just develop by themselves. But even then, you still have remnants of colonialism. Like I don't think they fully got rid of it because if you look at okay, once they got free, they definitely continued the European nation state structure and the politics and that kind of thing. So it's like not entirely gotten rid of.
Oh yeah, like one of the founding fathers of Puerto Rican independence movements, he was pretty much biracial between black and white. And even with him having a lighter complexion, but with like clear, African phenotype or whatever, they would still like in his heyday when he was alive, they would bring up his heritage just to smear his name, like. And then still today, in internal politics on the island, I remember seeing this ad for like a mayor being elected in some southern city in Puerto Rico saying, "Oh, why would you want to elect against my opponent? Why would you elect this black man when you can elect me?" Like, come on now. And the irony is that both had similar dark complexions. So,
who is this? What is his name? I want to see now.
hold on, let me get it because I'm pretty sure it was for um the position of mayor in Guayama. Hold on, Guayama racist.
That is just so dumb. So
I'm trying to find it. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up like later because I can't find it. Because
okay.
this was like way back, like 2020, like probably 2000s or something.
Oh, like 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. The only reason I saw it is because it came up in a conversation of like race relations in Puerto Rico and how that you will still find those comments in this day and age.
Lord. That's just and the thing is what I think is also down to politicians just playing on the lowest
Yeah,
denominator, just
'cause
dumb.
it's dumb because they'll look very similar to each other and they'll throw out racist remarks like that.
So dumb. I think one of the replies to that Reddit post, someone said Afro Caribbean people are not African. Caribbean nations already have their own cultures and coherent identities. I would like to know what this coherent identity is. Because for you
Me
to
too.
even deny, look, we are not continental Africans, no. But this just see, okay, let me continue and then I'll elaborate on my point. There is no need for some
All right.
phony reclamation of some lost African culture. And then it quoted the person Hispanic Caribbean nations were deeply assimilated into Spanish colonial culture and later forged strong post colonial identities during and after their wars of independence. Then the person has said their cultures are no more legitimate or stronger than that of Caribbean nations. But okay, but they
No.
literally are Caribbean nations. But anyway, continuing on, then they're responding to for Afro Caribbean people, our ancestors didn't just lose culture; they were stripped of an ability to form a coherent identity. Their response to that, fuck off. I mean, just
Oh wow.
you know when someone just doesn't want to use their brain, they don't want to think. I mean, just ridiculous, really. That's what I'm saying. Like trying to just confront people with the idea of thinking outside. I would like to know what is this coherent Caribbean identity, because you are literally denying what you are. Obviously, we are not. We weren't born there, but we're not from the Caribbean either. If we're gonna be technical, most of us aren't.
I will be looking for a foreign husband. Absolutely.
Oh, here she goes.
I don't speak the language, so that's better for you. Take my passport.
Please don't tell people to do that. Please don't tell people to do that.
We fucked up and yeah.
Now you're gonna now your DMs are gonna get swamped.
Oh boy, could you imagine?
Where's Java? Hold on.
Is he still in the YouTube thing?
He
YouTube
didn't
chat?
respond. I love he changed his name to 00. Oh, Mizzy, you weren't there for that. We were doing Spanish lessons, and Java was trying to read like the numbers, and he did it so Haitian. He didn't say zero zero. He said 00.
There was there was
That was so funny.
He forgot to turn off his Creole brain
Yeah.
for a second.
he was like, "Como estás usted? What you say?
Zero,
What you do?
because
There was there was
we were reading signs, right? So we're like going around Mira's part of town. Mira's like, go down this street, go down that street, and then we're like looking at all these signs and reading them. I think he was reading like the phone number, and he just went 00. Ah, that was very
there was
funny.
Sakbak say. What you mean? Motherfucker.
Oh, who says that? Oh, that's that
That's
girl.
that girl. She be making fun of her dad.
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, she's funny.
Sweetie baby.
Yeah, she is funny. Let's see if somehow we can get June or Kevenson on here. What's June be like? I don't speak English, knowing full well he speaks English.
Oh well.
No, because he does that.
He's a liar.
He does
He's
that.
a liar.
I'll be like, June, come VC. Oh, I don't speak English. Yes, you do.
That's his go-to for real. Like,
I hate when people do that though. Like over here, you'll be talking to them, and the thing is, they speak English, and they go, "Oh, sorry, I don't understand." Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Don't do that. I hate when people do that. It really irritates me. Let's see, he's gonna respond. Hold on.
He's ignoring you.
Well, I'll just have to spam him then. It would be good if we did a stream just to understand exactly what is going on. There's so much going on over there that it's kind of hard to keep up with. I tell you, I mean, I just don't know how it's gonna pan out. But I can't help but think, that video that I shared the other day about what they're doing in Honduras, where they're basically forcing people off their land to build these, basically company towns.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel like what is going on, especially in Port-au-Prince. Is that what's gonna happen? Is that like the end goal of all of this? Is to because June was telling me about that, about basically they're aiming to just displace the entire population of Port-au-Prince. And I'm like, are they doing that to just create a company town? Because obviously, there's gonna be all this destruction, and then they're gonna be like, oh, we have to develop it. We have to develop it. Da 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 da. And then they turn it into a company town. Well, do you think that's gonna happen?
Maybe for a tad bit, a little bit in the beginning, then everyone is just gonna ransack everything and like burn it down.
Do you think so?
I hope so.
I mean, you hope so, but do you think that's what's gonna happen?
do you think so? Do I hope so? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know what?
What? What's happening?
Did she get
She's
kicked?
laughing now.
He did. He did.
When I got kicked.
Yeah, you did, dummy.
Woo!
Ignorant ass behavior.
He said that because I'm black. Ooh.
I'm done.
Woo!
You finished?
You
You finished.
Likely not.
I just want to say as well, can we stop having prime ministers and stuff like that who are like 900 years old in the Caribbean? That needs to stop. Because these people will take us back to slavery because they were closer to it. I just want to say.
Oh, God. They will take us back to slavery because they were closer to it.
It's
That
true.
is so crazy.
It's true. If you think about it, they, especially these ones that were born during like the time of empire and like, you know, in some cases the US were like directly occupying them. That's all they know, and that's how they think. Can we stop that, please?
You know what? What do you think our ancestors say when they see us acting the way we do? I think they talk about. Because that statement really made me think, like, what did your ancestors think when you just said that?
You know,
Mhm.
it's too controversial. I'm not gonna.
Okay, but here's how recent slavery is in Puerto Rico, where this old woman, right? She already died, but um it's slavery was so recent in Puerto Rico that her grandmother was a slave.
Who's grandma?
The woman who passed away. Um she was an older Puerto Rican. She already passed away, but her grandmother was a slave, or both her
I
her
don't.
I was gonna say
grandmothers.
slavery is really not that far removed. Like
No,
people act
it's
like it
not.
is. It truly wasn't
It's really
that far
not.
removed.
I don't know why,
Like
but I think
you don't have to go back that many generations to somebody knowing a slave. Like
like I don't I think because I didn't hear who you said, like whose grandma was a slave. I thought you were talking about Mira. I was gonna say no way, Mira's grandma was a slave.
could you
No,
imagine
no,
the
No.
shit Mira be saying? Oh my god.
Okay, but to be fair, I did. Okay, this is gonna sound messed up, but I did
Uh-huh.
find
Tell us.
documented slaves in her family tree.
You said what?
And Mira chooses to be a colonizer. Amazing.
Mm,
That
wow.
I found documented slaves in her family tree. That's why I said.
I want to say shout out to my. I think they're my great. Is it my great grandparents? I think it's my great grandparents who were both servants, and that's how they met, and then they got married. You know, nice.
Now mine were just like uh uh working tobacco.
You know, love in every facet. You know, slavery, freedom. You know, forced labor, bringing people together. I guess.
Mm-mm-mm.
God forgive me for that comment. God forgive me.
You're all going to hell. And I'll see you there.
It's technically not wrong.
Jesus
It's just
Christ.
wrong.
Yeah, what happened is wrong, but it technically
Right.
isn't wrong. You know, like that's
I'm
literally.
shaking my head.
I mean, it's true though. Like when I was doing the family, what do you call it? The family, the genealogy. I was doing my genealogy. I think it's my grandma's grandparents were servants, and they met as servants, working in the same place. So yeah, you know.
You know what? Speaking of matchmaking, let's go back to how did you said your grandpa's would like visit your grandma at the shop and like leave her candies and such?
No, he used to see her at the window, and would like go and buy something and leave it there for her. And then because what it is,
Yeah, what
they're from
shit?
like their villages are side by side. So I was told that he would have to pass my grandma where her window was in order to get to where he was going. Yeah.
Whatever. I demand dowries up front, gift giving. That's what I request.
Well, no,
Absolutely.
because we have a coherent Caribbean identity that doesn't really promote family very well, and promotes people to just be reckless and have 1,000 children they can't take care of. Yeah, that's
I ain't
my
having no
hot
damn
take.
kids.
That is my hot
I
take.
ain't doing that. You know how expensive kids are. You
Yeah,
want somebody to wake you up 4 o'clock in the morning and talk about mommy? Like I don't. Oh, I don't want it. I don't want to hear it. I could barely wake up for me. Hell yeah,
Bruh.
hear a kid be, mommy, I'm hungry.
Do you
I'm
know
hungry,
what's
mommy.
funded? And because Discord don't make no noise, I didn't even realize
What do you say? I can't speak English.
he did a question mark.
You don't understand you.
He's like, huh?
Speak to him in Spanish. He'll understand then.
He might be offended. Oh, he's typing back. Okay, hold on.
Tell him I said I'll punch him in his mouth.
Why don't you tell him?
Wow.
Why don't you tell him when he gets here?
Yeah, no, because he'll show up for some foolish shit. He will.
Huh?
Yeah, literally. He's typing. With which internet? Oh, you're right. You know what? I forget.
With which internet?
Wow. Oh, he's on that Digicel shit.
Who was it though? I think, but usually his internet is good. I think he's got that Elon Musk internet.
Well,
He's got that
Starlink?
Elon Musk internet. It's crazy.
No, I think he does. It's Starlink.
Yeah, it's Starlink.
Yeah, I think he's got that. I think.
My internet is powered by apartheid.
But
Oh, what?
wow.
Wow. Jesus. Wow. Well, he told me to keep dreaming.
Internet powered by apartheid. That is yikes. You know what? Maybe
all
the
them
other
all
day
them
we could
boys
go.
moving to the US, you know?
You said what?
I want to say shout
All them
out to the
boys.
South African accent.
Oh, I'm not gonna be controversial. Go ahead, you shout it out.
The only person I for real heard, like, I don't listen to Elon Musk speak. I just read transcripts because he upsets me. But like,
Every time he
but
speaks, I
like,
want to vomit.
because he's like, like, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, well, we're about to get a bunch of South Africans coming in as refugees.
Oh
So you're
yeah,
gonna see
they've
it.
been coming in as refugees apparently. There is one
Did you
South
know
African
that
lady
Because
I
we're
follow.
white South African, yeah.
It's this one South African lady, and she's a trans woman, and I love her. And she's like,
like,
no, she's that meme. You know that meme where she's like, "How are you doing tonight?"
oh wow.
And then she's like, "Is your birthday?" Ah! That's her. I love her. How are you doing tonight? So much. I remember a man tugged on her wig and she socked the shit out of him.
Junior
And
said he's gonna.
I'm here for it.
Junior said he's gonna beat the
What's
shit
June
out of
gonna
you.
do with his skinny little female arms? What is he?
That's crazy.
He really is on Starlink.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding when he said. I really wasn't kidding when he said. Oh, there's the police.
He really is on that
Wee-oo.
Starlink shit.
Did you guys hear that?
They're coming for me.
I live in the forest. Oh gosh. Oh.
Dang. See,
We
at least
shout you out anyways. Oh,
to
that's
joke
right.
because he's always ready to cuss somebody out. He may not
He
speak.
really is.
He may not speak the best English, but he stays ready.
He speak the best cuss out.
Absolutely.
Remember, he found every Google Translate to cuss me out.
Yes, he did. That's funny.
That was like probably the first time I met Lactose. Like, it was a world war in this damn server.
Nah, I think that was a different time. I remember us talking to Lactose. Like we was in VC, and I think I just seen her, and I was like, "Who's this Lactose person?" I like pinged her, and I was like, "Come here," and then she showed up, and that's when we were like, "Oh, you sound like Pinto." Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Pinto, you're a raggedy bitch.
Oh wow.
I just wanted to submit that to the internet.
All right then.
Just out of left field. I wasn't ready for it.
I just want to
You
say
raggedy bench.
that's what she is, and I'm so disgusted by Pinto, honestly.
On Beyonce's internet.
She's a damn devil worshiper.
Wow.
Truly. No, she is.
No, I take that back. Sorry, Beyonce. I'm not sorry whatsoever.
It's I'm sorry, Beyonce, and then just actually no.
I am not sorry. I said what I said in the word of Nene Leaks. You know. Oh, here come the police again.
I said what I
hear it.
said.
La migra.
He just called me.
I almost said something crazy.
Wow.
La Negra.
No, I said ice basically.
Oh wow.
De Mises.
There's a video I saw of Dr. Umar talking about he's gonna throw mices on people.
Wow.
I kid you not.
Mises.
Mices. He said black mices. And he was like
Black
squeal,
mice.
squeal, squeal. He kept doing
Yo,
it.
he's on that good crack, boy. Mises.
He was like squeal, squeal, squeal. He let the IRS just hurry up and come and take him already. Like it's tiring now. It's been many years of his bullshit. Just take him, arrest him, get him done for fraud. Federal crimes. I swear the feds. You don't even get out on good behavior. Like you just once you're in, you're in. My goodness. Well, do we have any final words before we cut off the stream? Because I think this was a good stream. It was alright. No dead air. Mythic being ignorant as ever.
Oh wow. It's true.
I'm just gonna say that Shrek Nisha can go eat a donut and that stay hooders are traitors.
Okay, yeah, Shrek Nisha. I mean, can she choke on the donut, or you just want to say she can go eat one?
Both.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
eating one,
sorry, I
she
zoned
can
out.
choke on it.
Who we saying it to?
Shrek Nisha.
What?
Who's Shrek Nisha?
The governoress of I think that's the word governess of Puerto Rico. The
I
female
don't
that
know.
wants all the kids to eat the donuts. You know the one.
Yeah, the one that just shook me to my core because I was like, "That's not real," and it was.
The one who looks like her boyfriend or husband. Hold on, let me see. Let me get her now. Hold on.
She looks like she beats her husband.
That's her name.
A strong-willed woman.
Jennifer Gonzalez. Why is her name spelled like they spelled Jennifer weird, but it's
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, why is it spelled like that? Because when I see Niffer, I think of like sniffer, and I'm just reading it as Jen Sniffer. Like, why have they spelled it like that? What was her parents thinking? Hold on, what's her name? Jennifer. Why is it spelled like that? Weird. I don't like it. I
you're having
don't like it.
you're having a difficult time right now.
He don't. He looks too young. I'm not trying to be messy.
Did you try? Did you refer to Shrek Nisa as a he?
No, I'm talking. I'm talking about the
Oh,
the husband. Check general chat.
well, let's see. Oh yeah. I don't think they're that further apart in age, but I think he's what was it?
Really?
Yeah, I forgot.
She ain't got no teeth in this picture.
Yeah, I just saw that and I tried to block it out.
She's like, yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. Shrek Nisha. The kids don't need to be ogre like. Like you are. Let them kids eat healthy. You know, being fat isn't healthy. You know.
And
I
encouraging.
found out the other day that they have like, was it? There's like this advocacy where they say you can be healthy at any size, and then these women kept dying.
Oh wow.
They kept
Okay.
dying. Hold on. Let me see. This is off topic. Hold on. Fat advocacy, healthy at any. That's it. That's what they call it. Fat acceptance and health at every size. Like, I don't believe in like ostracizing fat people and be like, fat. No, but like you are literally, you're not healthy when you're 700 pounds. You're just not. You're just not. They just like
I'm
the
done.
video that I saw. This one woman, she literally could not. She has a salon, right? She can't even be active in her business because she's so big. She just has to sit there. Like, why is this even happening? Stop telling people. That's like saying, oh, smoking is good for you because it makes you look cool. Like,
I mean that was actually pushed.
yeah, exactly. And then we found out, surprise, emphysema, it doesn't work, does it? Does not work.
How come frogs do the things that they do?
I hate frogs. They
Hmm?
just ew.
Oh, I just found the age difference. So Jennifer Gonzalez is like 10 years older.
So she's a cougar.
He's 30. He's like 38 or 39, I think.
I mean, for 30 and 39, he doesn't look bad. He looks like he's eating a bit too many donuts. But okay. Hold on. Where's the?
And she's about to turn 50.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Maybe we need a cougar sound.
I'm pretty sure both their children are not older than 3.
Dang, so she had a baby. Had a geriatric pregnancy. I guess. Why are you laughing? That's what it's called. That's what it's called. what? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry. I keep getting these videos of Big Neck Ed
Oh, good lord! You mean
talking to
no neck Ed?
um he kind of looks like what happens when you go too crazy and create Sims for 3.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
let me
no,
tell you, it's
goddamn.
called a geriatric pregnancy or advanced maternal age. Stop laughing. That's a real thing.
Wait, what?
So Shrek Nisha, right, is like 50 years old and has like babies basically. So why are you laughing? So I was like, oh, so she had a geriatric pregnancy and Kamatiri's been in stitches ever since.
That's funny. You think that's funny? She has hard boiled eggs. You think that's fucking funny?
Did you just call her babies hard?
Is it the thought? Jennifer being geriatric.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's because if a woman that's I think is over 35 and has a baby, that's considered a geriatric pregnancy.
Is that fucking funny to you?
Yeah, why you laughing?
Commentary off. You mad that she gonna fucking produce powdered milk? Is that what the fuck you're laughing about?
Oh
Is that fucking funny to you?
My fucking ribs.
Why is that funny? Why is that funny? I'm giving you medical facts.
I'm sorry. Do you think it's funny? She's giving her kid scoliosis. Do you think that's fucking funny?
Okay, maybe we should end. No.
Ain't it fucking funny? She's having diabetes, kids. Think that shit's funny?
Okay. I'm ending the stream. Okay, thank you, people. Bye. Thank you. I'm ending the stream because you don't know